Hello, greeting fellow armchair Imagineer. I am Payeski, the world's most ingenious armchair Imagineer. You know what that means? It means I am number one, and you all are number two.
And I am Animatie, world's most engaging story man.
Yes, and together the both of us are here to talk about the Mr. Banks, but not really because the title is very misleading. And instead we're here to talk about Muppets Most Wanted. Yay! Yay!
And we really liked it, like a lot.
Like very much a lot. So join us on this heartwarming journey as we take a look at a very thoughtful, critical analysis at what makes Muppets Most Wanted a very worthy sequel in the Muppets franchise.
The lovers, the dreamers, and cheese.
Yeah.
Yay!
Bye, Tiki! Bye, Tiki! Bye, Tiki! Bye, Tiki! Bye, Tiki! Bye, Tiki! Well, gosh darn it, BlueDragonFive. I think our Russian counterparts just got the best of us again.
Ooh!
Oh, God. What are we going to do about that, man? Seriously. Big problem.
Oh. Well, they brought up a good idea. Let's talk about Muppets Most Wanted.
Alright, well, yes. Anyways. Hello, greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And tonight, we're talking Mr. Banks. Yes.
Yay!
And we have a special review for you all. Since I was late to the party seeing Muppets Most Wanted, I had to wait until the DVD. You know, because I'm poor, so what you gonna do? Alas, now is the time that we get to discuss the film. So, BlueDragonFive, what is your history with this movie?
You know what's the background?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, well, let's see. Not much to tell, folks, because unfortunately, DVD bonus features have been growing shoddy with Disney of late. Not Pixar, just Disney.
Yes, we've talked about that quite a bit.
Big time. At least they made like a half of an attempt with this. Point is, Jason Segel, after he makes the Muppets, he brings the Muppets back along with director, I believe it's James Bobbin, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Yeah, James Bobbin. Yeah.
James Bobbin. They come back, you know, they bring the Muppets back out from obscurity. If not obscurity, they dust the Muppets off pretty much and put them back on the big screen, put them back in the public consciousness.
They rescue them from hellish, made-for-TV nightmare zone, like the likes of Muppets Wizard of Oz and whatnot.
Or Muppets Letters of Santa Claus. Or
oh God, it's not a good time. It was a dark time to be a Muppets fan.
So they saved the Muppets from obscurity. They do this great film filled with nostalgic wonderfulness, The Muppets. And it's a real passion project for Jason Segel. He wrote it, he starred in it. Yay! And unfortunately, he declined to turn not out of malice or anything, just because he told the Muppet story that 8-year-old kid inside him wanted to tell, and he did that. And he kind of said, "I don't have anything else to really say for the Muppets," so he's not coming back. Meanwhile, the director, he finds a writer. I want to say Nick Stoller, but I could be wrong, so don't quote me. Point is, new teams assembled for the writing. It's going to come back for future installments. Their goal is to keep on with the revitalization of the Muppets, and going into this, I personally thought it was going to be they do a film like the Muppets. My fear, I think everyone's fear, was that okay, they had a lot of help with the Muppets, so the bases were loaded. To quote Walt Disney,
oh yeah,
the bases were loaded in terms of the people have been going a long time without a really good Muppet movie. So that was, and plus a lot of nostalgia coming back, and that was the main story, crux of the story for the Muppets. That was the nostalgic return, like our childhood characters coming back.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, how are you going to top that? You know what I mean?
And the big question is, like, can they actually recapture the magic and go on with the story? Like, so without the advantage of, like, just coming back, can they actually tell a good, compelling story? Like the appeal of the Muppets. And so it could have been Muppets, and it could have been the Great Muppet Caper, which is basically a sequel to a really successful Muppet movie, being kind of a sequel in a new line of Muppet movies. Or could be Muppets in Space, which is not bad, but still just kind of Like it's the before we get to the
It's
TV
the bastard
movies.
child of the theatrical Muppets movies. Let's be honest here.
Essentially, it's the decline of the Muppet movies, which would be just kind of like they're trying,
Again,
but
I like Muppets in Space too, BlueDragonFive. I'm kind of with you. Like,
yeah,
I like it for its own merits, but I love all the Muppets movies.
let me be fair.
Everything Muppet related.
Let me be completely fair. Let's just say Muppets Wizard of Oz, because that's more of a fair argument. So I mean, okay.
Yeah, anything TV related was just awful. Anything that was on TV was just like,
So I mean, it could be like a pale attempt at recapturing the Muppet spirit with a thing like Wizard of Oz or like the Christmas letters, or it could be something really great.
You know what they could have done that would have really pissed me off? That would have been really easy. Muppets Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Like, just something like that. You just take that as an example. You know what I mean? Just like that would have been so easy for them to do, or something like cookie cutter like that. You know, but instead they literally made a sequel that's like exactly like 1 millisecond after the original ends, which I think is quite genius.
So with the daunting task of you're going to have like an awesome sequel like Caper, or you're going to have something just pale in comparison. They proved us in the more direction of Caper, which I was happy about, because Caper's, if not my favorite Muppet, it's definitely up there.
Yeah, yeah.
So essentially, the other, not much background here, there's 2 bits left. Essentially, okay. The original title, and the first song reflects this. The original title was going to be Muppets Again, but someone, I assume a bigwig, decided to change the Muppets Most Wanted.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't really care for either of those titles, to be honest. Muppets Most Wanted, I guess, is fine.
Both of them are fine, I guess. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, interesting.
Again, seemed a little funnier and coincide with the first song.
Yeah, and also, and also just the fact that the first movie's just called The Muppets, and then the second one's just The Muppets Again.
I don't know. It's just because
I could see how that would work. That would be funny.
I would say it's in the song literally, and they kind of just change it in the song because the originally were going to go with Muppets Again. I think even the advertising was about to go Muppets Again before they put the trailers out. Anyway, so the last thing, Christoph Waltz actually had a bigger role originally.
Oh.
Christoph Waltz was going to be Jean-Claude Napoleon's character.
Oh, okay.
So they
glorious, dude! Holy crap!
So unfortunately, there was a scheduling conflict, and if I'm correct, I'm guessing here on this one, but I assume he was working on Django.
Well, I gotta say, it was well worth it. Now, if it was to go do the voice work on Epic, then that is a shame. Having said that, I think Ty Burrell in that same role just works so well that I really couldn't picture him alongside Sam Eagle being anyone else. You know what I mean? So, Christoph Waltz, he definitely gets probably the most memorable cameo in the whole movie. And there he is, eventually, dude. Christoph Waltz probably gets the most recognizable cameo in the whole movie. You know, it's a little waltz with Sweetums. So, all right, let me see if we can get Adventure Blue Dude back. I'm not sure it's on. Hold on. Sorry about that. Oh, boy. Or, no, ooh. You get you blue people straight. Gosh darn it. So yeah, I guess the first thing we should talk about, while we wait for Adventure Blue Dude, or BlueDragonFive. I'm getting it so mixed up. Oh my god, it's just a pathetic running joke at this point. Oh my god, BlueDragonFive, Adventure Blue Dude. I can't get the two of you. Ah! How are you? Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I've literally just spent the entire time you were gone confusing your name with Adventure Blue Dude and flubbing over myself. It was awful.
Okay, well, folks, I'm back. Sorry about that, I guess.
Oh, it's fine, it's fine. They got to see me make a fool out of myself, so I think it was well worth it.
The point is, I think my assumption is that Christoph Waltz is working on Django Unchained, but I have no confirmation for that.
Yeah, and like I said, if he was working on Epic, then that really would have been a shame. But, honestly, I think Ty Burrell works so well in that role that I couldn't see anyone else alongside Sam Eagle, so...
True.
I think it's kind of a blessing, because Christoph Waltz, I think he ended up getting, by far, one of the more... I'd say Christoph Waltz is almost sort of the Jack Black of this movie. Would you say that?
I want to say that, but he just doesn't have enough screen time to say that. But
I know. He's not as integral to the plot, but it's still
But I
hilarious.
loved him, though. I really loved him when he was there.
And now, Christoph Waltz will perform the waltz.
And actually, in the extended version, there's a bit that gag's a little bit more extended. Basically, they mispronounce his name as he goes. They mispronounce his name, and he peeks his head out of the curtains and corrects them. Anyways, not much. The point is that both really good actors, and I think it just fell where it should have been. In the end of the day, Ty Burrell does a fantastic job in this movie.
He was easily the biggest surprise in the movie for me. Like, I had no expectation for him.
And I guess,
like, you and me have kind of talked about this off air. Like, I know you're a Tina Fey fan, and that's fine. She's personally never really done it for me, except in this movie. Like, literally, I think all three of the main characters, human characters, are just fantastic.
They are. They're very.
I really think that this movie kind of, just to jump right into my comparison, because I think we're going to be doing a lot of comparing and contrasting between this and 2011 Muppet movie, but
Not a bad human actor, except maybe Usher in this movie.
no, I thought Usher was hilarious.
No,
man,
Usher.
I'm the Usher.
I don't know, if it's not Usher, it might have been, it's either Usher or Puff Daddy. I kind of didn't do it for me. They're just kind of randomly in there.
You know what didn't do it for me was Celine Dion. I thought that song was horrible.
I think that's the point, though.
I guess, but I just didn't, I just didn't like sitting through it.
Anyway, so let's,
I had to look up who Celine Dion was. I'm sorry, I don't know her face. I know her voice. I'm sorry. Sue me for...
I guess the last thing to bring up in terms of background, I guess, is we're going to bring this up during the thing anyway, but in terms of style, design, and influence for the film, it was really neat. Again, you got to love kind of the timeless feel for the Muppets, usually.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They applied a kind of early 50s, mid 60s design and feel to the movie, kind of capturing the classic caper movies of the time. And I think that really comes through for a lot of the scenes, a lot of the set design, really, especially the set design.
Oh, absolutely. The set design is fantastic.
So they really were trying to capture like your classic caper movies, and it did pay off, I think. Because again, mind you, they literally had a movie called Great Muppet Caper. I don't think they repeated themselves, but in a good way.
Yeah, yeah. So you want to just kind of dive right into it with the first scene?
Sure. Let's go into it.
We're doing a sequel.
So, how exactly do we start the movie? Where else do we start a movie? Tiki? At the ending of the first movie.
Yes, we. Now I gotta say, BlueDragonFive. I do think when you're gonna compare movies that came out this year that did the whole we're riffing on the fact that we're a sequel thing, I gotta say 22 Jump Street just beats this hands down. 22 Jump Street was just absolutely ingenious with the way
I don't know. The opening musical number to Captain America was very compelling.
Oh, the opening musical number?
I'm kidding. I'm saying, what if Captain America 2 opened like this movie?
Oh. Like,
we're doing a sequel, and I have a new shiny shield.
It's
I'm
the
kidding.
Avengers World 2, or no, it's like the Avengers, the post-Avengers reunion tour or something. I don't know. Oh, God.
Anyway, so I think it's a really fourth wall-y opening. I thought it was a really clever opening. Yeah, that's where you're gonna open the movie at. We're at the end of the first one, or the end of the previous one, because this is their 8th movie.
Yeah.
And they do bring that up, and I love that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But I thought it was such a clever. I think we both have an appreciation.
Sequel or whatever.
I think we both have an appreciation for fourth
Of
wall.
course, the Toy Story 4 reference. Good stuff.
Yeah.
My personal favorite was the Swedish Chef section where he references the Seventh Seal. That was just fantastic.
I don't think people watch subtitle films. Actually, the scene was
subtitle films.
okay. Let me say a few things here. First of all, I think you and I both have an appreciation for fourth wall humor. Again, my love of Deadpool and also Family Guy. Really, this fourth wall humor is just so clever to me. And if you don't, the Muppets have a good balance of it overall in their movies.
Yeah. I mean, the Muppets have always had a fantastic sort of mix of, old-fashioned humor with some fourth wall-y stuff here and there.
Ever since the first movie, in fact.
Yeah.
It's always a great tradition within the Muppet movies, and I think it's the most fourth wall-y opening you could have, and it's brilliant. It's like, okay, we're doing a movie, and basically the old guys say, oh no, the camera's still here. It's another one. And it's a very catchy. The opening's one of my favorite parts of this movie. Just that it's such a catchy song. We're doing a sequel. It reminds me again of one of my favorite Muppet movies, The Great Muppet Caper. And again, makes me like chalk another tally for this movie on there, trying to emulate kind of the previous sequels that Muppets have done. Have been really successful, or really good. Turns out because the opening.
I think that's what they were going for. Was they were kind of trying to do like. Okay, well, the first one was sort of, the Muppets, or the Muppets movie, so this one should be Great Muppet Caper. Just makes sense.
And again, just looking at kind of that comparison, think about it. Okay, so the Muppets, Muppet movie way back in the day, that's just basically telling you how the Muppets got together. The Muppets is about how they got together again, no pun intended. And the sequel, Great Muppet Caper, is basically their first kind of adventure, and a self-referential adventure, basically saying, okay, we're doing a movie now. Literally, they're talking about the opening credits in Great Muppet Caper, and their first song is "Hey, a movie, starring everybody and me." It's really catchy, and they do kind of a similar thing here, basically saying we're doing a sequel, talking about being in a movie again. So there's a lot of self-referential stuff here, and it's really doing it for me. And you're right, Toy Story 4 is a hilarious line. You feel a little bad for Tom Hanks because he's got a lot of flack for that.
Oh God,
he's just overzealous. That's the gag.
Yeah.
And also, again, I should mention just overall for this thing. Again, I've seen the extended cut and the DVD. All disappointing. Again, they made an attempt, so they have like an extended cut. But if anyone's just thinking about buying this just for the Statler and Waldorf cut, I wanted to tell you right now, it's kind of a letdown. It's I'll spoil it for you here, folks. Basically, it's less than. Actually, it's just 3 minutes.
That is like such a cheat.
Yeah, because you know what I thought it was going to be? I thought that was going to be the answer to the commentary, which I was so looking forward
Right, like a whole comedy. That would be ingenious. Like, I would love to record that myself, just as like a comedy thing.
Exactly, because I mean, the first Muppet, the Muppets.
Oh, look at these Muppet weird. Oh, what are they doing now?
Yeah, not even that. It's like not even there's insert random scenes in the movie. No, it's not that. It's just at the beginning they say, well, this is the stuff that was, we were in more of the movie, and we're going to show you the version of the movie we were in. It cuts to one scene with, like, they're in the background, and then it says, they fast forward to the end, it's like, the end. Oh, I still thought it was too long.
Wow.
It's like the Frozen thing. What is wrong with Disney?
Just, like, mocking us with these special features. Like,
Disney, what the heck?
The point where they're just like, it makes me angry.
Screw you.
Disney used to be, like, the pinnacle of home video releases. They really did.
Disney home video, screw you. Okay? Don't make me buy something. Don't make me buy something.
Plan to get rid of Disney home video and replace it with our own special commentary.
And blow it up.
Yes, we will blow up the commentary track.
It's like it's making me buy, and there was a bonus, there's a gag reel, so I gotta tell you, it was a little, also a little disappointing, just the outtake reel.
Mm-hmm.
Point is, they're making me buy Blu-ray for stuff I don't even need, well, I think I need it, because it sounds awesome, because again, the Muppets on Blu-ray, at least they had a commentary, a full-length commentary, with the guys that made the movie. Why can't they do that for more of them? I don't know. Point is, what I'm going to say about the extended cut, actually has 12 minutes of really good footage.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are some scenes, and pretty much it's just like, what if the scenes went on a little longer? But there are some gags you kind of wish they were in the movie because they're so hilarious. Usually, though, like all the songs have like about maybe like a few seconds of extended stuff. Like, you see more people dancing in this, and also in the opening number here, you see like a few more Muppets throw out some suggestions. Like I think they go by really quickly, so I can't quite remember. But like I think Ralph the Dog has a suggestion. I think like Ralph the Dog, maybe Dr. Teeth has throws out something. The point is like a few more quick Muppet suggestions in the song.
I love Fozzie's like, let's do a movie about getting the whole gang back together and saving the studio from
an evil oil baron.
Oil baron.
Fozzie, did you even see our last movie? It's so funny. And so basically, it's right before Gervais comes in. They had a few more stuff, a few more suggestions in there.
Oh,
Anyway, so point is, it's still good stuff. And I'm gonna get when we talk about this, and there are a few gags I'm gonna bring up that are really two gags in particular that really made me roll on the floor laughing. They were so funny.
okay.
Okay, well, let's keep going. So anyway, one of our fantastic new Muppet live action Muppet co-stars comes in, Richie Gervais, who I'm usually he's kind of a hit or miss for me. He really did it for me in this movie.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, it's like I felt that way about all three of these people. Like Ty Burrell, I'm not really a big Modern Family person, and
I liked him in Incredible Hulk.
was he an Incredible Hulk?
Yeah, remember he's the guy that's going to become Doc Samson. He's Betty Ross's boyfriend.
Oh, geez, so that's a small role.
Well, he had a lot of scenes cut in that movie. Anyway. But yeah, he's big on Modern Family.
With all three of these actors, it's like it's such a pleasant surprise for me that they really shined here. And just one thing to bring up right off the bat, BlueDragonFive, is that it's fantastic. I think this is like the best thing you can say about this movie in comparison to the last Muppets movie, is that the Muppets are the main characters. Like Jason Stahl and Amy Adams and frickin' Walter were the main characters in the last one. And Walter has earned his way into the main group, certainly, and he's, and I like his role here, but he's not a main character. Kermit and Miss Piggy and Fozzie and Gonzo are the main characters. That's the way it should be. It should never be that the humans are the main focus of the story, unless you're goddamn Michael Caine and Muppets Christmas Carol.
However, I'm going to say for the Muppets in 2011, actually that one, if the story's going to be getting the Muppets together, it makes sense to have outside characters be your leads in that case.
I guess, but I just didn't like the relationship stuff. I just, you gotta put me on that. The relationship stuff was really superfluous.
I'll give you that, a little less time on that, but they had to work it in somehow for like some
party.
Sorry, what?
Me Party. You can't say that you really like Me Party too much. Really.
I gotta admit, it's not my. I gotta say it's kind of catchy, but it's not my favorite song by any stretch in that movie. I'm with you. It's on the bottom of the song list, but it's kind of catchy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that whole plot just kind of detracted. Like I liked Walter's
it's just
plot.
That Amy Adams is adorable.
Romance sort of detracted from the whole thing.
Yeah, the romance plot is a little on the nose, but I'll give you that. The point is that is kind of a weak element of that movie. We're talking about this movie though. However, I think speaking of Michael Caine, I'm glad you brought that up. Because the mark of a good live-action Muppet co-star would be what Michael Caine did when he was on set. Is basically you treat the Muppets like real actors, and whether they did it on set or not, you get the sense on screen that they're actually talking to real people.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, by the way, behind you, just right now, or it's just past, we know Amy Adams and Jason the Segel stand-ins were there. He did not appear in the movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, God.
That's kind of like it's kind of sad, the little bar where basically all those people are extras who are the fans. It kind of makes you think, oh, man, the ending's a little sadder now.
Yeah, it's kind of like, is going to mirror a plot point in the movie, actually, when you think about it.
Also, a little detail I noticed rewatching it recently. If you notice, they put a lot of detail into the set there in that opening sequence because they even have the Cars 2 poster up in the...
Oh God. That's great.
So back in the 2011 Cars 2 poster, it's there. So I just noticed.
Oh,
anyway,
that's awesome. That's amazing.
I'm sorry, so continuing forward, so Richard Gervais comes here, and I just love how he enters the movie, too. He just kind of walks in and basically says, how about a world tour? Yeah!
Yeah, let's do that!
Yeah,
and then, of course, his name's Dominic Bad Guy. No, it's Badgie. It's
French. Oh! I love the visual of all the Muppets crammed in the little Hollywood booth.
It's wonderful. It's like this movie's equivalent of when they're getting all the Muppets together in the car.
Well, another live-action Muppet actor I keep saying live-action Muppet actor. I mean, just like a guest star, I guess, would be another guest star in a live-action Muppet movie remind me a lot of this movie, particularly with Ty Burrell, with Jean-Claude's character. Charles Grodin's character in Muppet Caper, who was in love with Miss Piggy.
Right.
And literally, mind you, Ty Burrell, he just like flirts with Miss Piggy in this, but Charles Grodin, he was like infatuated, head over heels in love with
One of the core things of the plot.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying, like Grodin, he treated those Muppets like like real co-stars, at least on screen. You got that vibe, and I think that does translate to this. But anyway, so continuing forward, Dominic says, "Hey, what about World Tour?" And that's his intro. Basically, they finish the song in a big old spectacle, and they keep saying "Muppets again, Muppets again, it's the Muppets again," which makes you kind of wish the movie was called Muppets Again.
Yeah.
And then it just says Muppets Most Wanted. The reason it doesn't really bother me is because it just kind of like it takes over the movie Muppets Most Wanted. It's like you're thinking, okay, then Muppets Most Wanted.
Yeah, you're right. It does kind of work on that level.
I guess because like Constantine's taken over the movie literally, so I guess it kind of reflects in the opening credits, which is.
And
nice.
by the way, I mean, just for the record, Constantine is a fantastic villain, and I really can't think off the top of my head of another villain in a Muppet movie that's better than him.
In a Muppet movie, well, do you mean like an actual Muppet bad guy, or do you mean like you mean literally just any villain from the Muppets?
I mean, just any villain.
Oh, Doc. Well, yeah, Doc Hopper's pretty much comedic.
I think Constantine's fantastic. I really do.
You think Constantine's fantastic? He
Yeah.
is. He is. I'm just trying to think. Just making sure there's like no one overlooking here. Like Joan Cusack, she was heartless.
That's
She was
true. That was a good one.
she literally stomped on Kermit's dreams. I'm trying to think. Like Doc Howard is usually the main go-to villain I get. Well, I mean, no, Scrooge comes around and he doesn't count.
Yeah,
well,
he had a whole month of videos talking about Scrooge. Let's not go back into that.
What about our evil oil baron?
No, Constantine.
Tex Richmond.
I love me some Chris Cooper, but Constantine's way better than that guy.
Okay, yeah, you gotta think of one. Grodin's hilarious, so he doesn't count.
You know what I love about Constantine is I just love the fucking middle teeth that he has.
There is one more I might say, but he kind of came around in the end. I was gonna say Jeffrey Tambor's character, but he kind of came around in the end, so I don't think he counts.
Yeah.
Then again, every Muppet villain comes around in the end.
So we get this awesome breakout scene with Constantine.
Oh yeah, and that in case anyone's wondering, there's no CG there. That's all real Muppet.
That is like so refreshing to hear. Like in general, is there much CG in this movie at all?
Really? Well, I mean, barring maybe an explosion here or there, and of course the map effect. When they travel by map yet again.
Yeah.
I think again, if anything, I might. I still think it's a real Muppet, but when Constantine's like going across the wall and his first thing in shadow, like it might be like a 2D animated shadow, but I think it's him. Really, I really do.
Sure.
The point is very little CG.
Again, that's a great thing about this movie is that it's like practical effects. They're embracing it. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Barring, well, obviously the ending credits has CG, but I mean, other than that, I think maybe an explosion here or there, like maybe the bull effect. That I think it's just a trick of the camera. This, so I think very little CG.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Anyway.
And then so once Constantine breaks out of the prison after a great escape scene, plenty of action to start off the movie.
There was a deleted gag. There was a deleted gag. He pushes the button, and if it goes by really quickly, if you actually read the button, it says a button that releases all the cell doors. It opens all the cell doors. And the original scene was basically there were a whole bunch of people in the room with that button. Basically, they were eating lunch, and they said, "Hey, do you guys ever think we really need a button that says that releases all the prisoner doors? Seems really like a bad idea." Then the lights go out, Constantine knocks them all out, and pushes the button. Understandably cut, but still funny. Anyway, so he constantly releases it, and then they have a whole lot of Shawshank Redemption references in this movie.
Oh, we'll get to that. Oh, yeah.
I love this first one, though. I love this intro for Constantine's character.
Oh.
Constantine, he pops out of the muck, the mud, and he's like, it's so cool. It's like, feels like a bit of Shawshank Redemption. And he just has the intimidation level factor of Cape Fear Robert De Niro.
Right, yeah.
Just in that opening, he pulls that thing. It's time. And the guy knows the Muppets, and he's quoting them in a creepy way, which makes him an awesome threat. He basically says, "It's time to light the light," and it does make plot sense because he knows about the Muppets. He's using them in his plan, or it's not random weirdos.
Oh yeah.
Time to light the light. Blows up the prison.
Yeah. Oh god, we'll get to that.
And presumably kills people. Some people say he presumably kills people. In that explosion.
I mean, this guy has a straight up. Let's just be honest. This guy has just a straight up, like, he loves explosions. Like, he is a straight up pyromaniac.
Now, I could get into this later, but I guess I'll say. Well, I guess I'll say it real quick now, so I don't have to say it later. Constantine does have a background. I do say it in the extended cut. Constantine's background is he was born. He's born in Tadpole, went awry, and he was adopted by an explosions expert, and the explosion expert taught him his love of bombs, and he became a bad guy.
Okay.
So essentially, he was the tadpole that went wrong. He was taken in by a bomb maker.
By bomb experts.
Yes, he was raised by a bomb expert's adoptive father. So Constantine's awesome. Anyway. So light the lights, explosion. What happens next?
Oh, well, then we cut back to the Muppets, and this is the dinner scene.
Yes, but they're in Hollywood. They're talking the Dominic bad guy, Badgie. It's French. The thing about Success Muppets. I just noticed a little fancy restaurant thing. They have like the little lemon in the water. They're in a fancy restaurant. And in case anyone's wondering, it does not make the water taste like lemonade. Actually, it's like citrus. It purifies the water. Well, in fact, I didn't know until lately. Anyway, so
one thing I want to mention about Ricky Gervais really quick about his performance that I really respect, and that it really shows through this entire movie is that he's mentioned that usually he's known as the guy who's like the over the top sort of cartoon character in his acting style, and he purposely toned that down for this movie because he has so much respect for the Muppets that he really didn't want to overshadow them at all. So I think the character of Dominic Bad Guy is actually, quite fascinating. He has a lot of layers to him, and his story doesn't really end up where I expected it to. And it ended up in a pretty comedic place, so we'll get to that. But
I loved how he's basically the straight man in this movie. He's actually getting all the crime done.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me say this now, because he's about to get a phone call by Constantine here. Richard Gervais, he did this, another reason he did this movie is for his kids, but he loves the Muppets, and his favorite Muppet, his new favorite Muppet, is Constantine, because he loved working with this thing, and it's his new favorite Muppet. He just loves the idea. He loves the idea, and I've watched so many interviews with him and Constantine because it's so amusing to me. Mm-hmm. Basically, saying he loves Constantine because it's like this reptile who's like, not reptile, sorry, I mean it's an amphibian who thinks.
They have those on the DVD.
The interviews, no.
That would be a great feature to have on the DVD, but no.
There's like a whole bunch of them on YouTube, yet nothing on the DVD. Ridiculous. Anyway, so the point is he's always talking in interviews, and basically Constantine's is his favorite Muppet because he just loved working with him, and basically he loves the idea of this mastermind frog who still gets tripped up on a few things because he has technically. Gervais apparently he likes to research biology or something about amphibians, so he knows the brain's like a smaller portion because he's an amphibian. He basically loves that idea that he's not completely the criminal mastermind he thinks he is because he's got a tiny little amphibian brain, and that's why he can't say certain words, and that's why he's he evilly plots and stuff. He loves that about him. I love the chemistry between those two. Anyway. And there's a hilarious scene between those two that was cut that I'm going to get to momentarily. Later on. Just bear in mind. So he gets a call from Constantine. Constantine comedically blows up the phone. And little thing. When he gets the phone call from Constantine, which celebrity he says it is? It seems like such a random choice. Bill Clinton. Of all celebrities, Bill Clinton? Really?
Oh, God.
Anyway, so he gets the call from Constantine. Constantine plans going according to schedule. The Muppets eat an apple in my hand, blows up the phone. Hilarious, ha ha ha. And his plan is basically convince the Muppets, you're hot right now, Muppets, but you gotta just keep the ball rolling because you don't want this moment to end. I don't want this moment to end, Kermit. And,
I don't want to go back to Reno.
so essentially, the idea is that he suggests a world tour. So, why don't you guys go on tour? And basically, Kermit has genuine reservations, saying, "Well, look, we just got the gang back together. I think we should hone our act first." No, and Walter is important for Walter's character. Makes a decision saying, well, he brings up to Kermit saying, well, I mean, we could rehearse on the road, strengthen the act while on the road. And Kermit says, okay.
Yeah, I really love this moment. I really do like the way that Walter is integrated into the plot here. Like, it's great that they don't just make him the main character again, and yet he definitely serves a big role. I think they handled it perfectly, and I think he definitely still is like the heart of the Muppets, and I think it's a great sort of addition to the ensemble, really.
Yeah, it's a good thing. The best thing of Walter is that he's kind of, if not Kermit's voice of reason, like even Kermit the Frog needs a voice of reason now and again.
Exactly, yeah.
He can serve that role, but he kind of grounds the Muppets because he knows the Muppets better than anyone because he's a huge fan of the Muppets and he deeply respects all of them. He can reach all of them. That's what the whole movie's predicated on. He can reach all the Muppets, no matter how crazy they get.
Sure.
And so he's the heart and soul. I guess more of the head, but he's definitely kind of the heart and soul of the Muppets now. Or at least he's part of it. Like, he guides the heart and soul of the Muppets, I guess would be the proper term.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then he basically down at bad guys, he's passive, not passive aggressive. He basically is calling Kermit boss and stuff. Basically saying, I work for you.
Yeah, he's like being really slimy and being like a real suck up. And it's God, I just love the way that Gervais plays it though, because it's almost like he's playing like a corporate boss or something like that. You know what I mean? Someone who's just he has a smile on his face when you see him, but he's just up to no good behind your back.
Yeah. However, I gotta tell you though, I find him very likable. I can't hate the guy.
No, I mean, yeah, and that's the cool thing about it. All three of these main human actors, and we'll get into it, are kind of antagonistic in their own certain ways, and yet they're three of the most likable characters in the movie.
Yeah, there's a scene coming where I just want to give Gervais a hug, but because I know he's a bad guy, I can't.
Oh god.
Anyway, so let's continuing forward. Take us through to you. So they're on a train, right?
I believe so, yeah. Is this the scene with Miss Piggy where she wants to get married?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so Miss Piggy, she brings up, when are we getting married? Point, she's all jazzed about wedding plans and whatnot. Or Kermit hasn't even proposed yet. And let's see. Also, there was the deleted gag here. It was a little more explanatory to why the train is the train it is in the movie.
Yeah.
Basically, there was a reveal. You saw this really nice train. Then it just goes by and it reveals the cruddy train they drive in.
Yeah.
And basically, parts of it fall off in its introduction. They reveal Beauregard's driving it. Say, Beauregard, when do you get a license? And then, that explains why later on the train falls apart when they get to the station.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so they get on the train. They're riding. Miss Piggy caught up on the wedding details. And funny gag, right off the bat, I love Beauregard because again I love Muppet Caper. He's driving backwards. And, I don't know what the song is, but it just sounds really catchy. It's like someone just shouting as they're driving, catchy when they're driving backwards on the map. I think
it's this movie really does. It really is the Muppets are full force here, and I think even more so than the 2011 movie. It is just filled with cameos and with callbacks, and I just think that's a great thing about it,
However, one thing, though, I think we might have a smidge too many cameos in this movie.
I think we have a smidge too many celebrity cameos. I would not agree with you on Muppets cameos.
Muppets cameos is fine. I mean just celebrity cameos, that's what I mean.
Okay, I definitely agree with you there. Definitely, for sure.
That's all I mean. I don't mean the Muppet cameos are fine. Keep them going.
Okay. So Miss Piggy, she's all pressuring Kermit to get married, to pop the question and everything, and Kermit, he unleashes with basically something that we've been wanting to see Kermit say for like decades, which is basically just like, back off, woman! As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure I want to marry you given the circumstances.
Given the way this conversation is going, I'm going to be alright with that. It's a very little thing in this scene. First of all, speaking of Muppet cameos, they brought Foo the dog back, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And in case it's a little funny little note here, Steve Whitmire, the performer for Kermit, he also does the dog.
God.
Anyway, so two things. One, I love how Gervais just he signals the dog, like, come on, get out of here, the scene's going on.
Yeah.
I love that little thing. And Gervais, you love the guy. And two, as much as again, celebrity cameos, as much as I love good celebrity cameos, as much as I love Tony Bennett, I think he's just a little thrown in there.
That's the thing I feel like with most of the celebrity cameos here. It's like, I mean, like, James McAvoy, he's one of my favorite actors, but he shows up and he's just, like, delivering a package. He's like, hey, I'm James McAvoy, I'm delivering a package. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's great, you're James McAvoy, but there's no real joke. It's just James McAvoy delivering a package.
Because, I mean, like, in the original Muppet movie, I mean, you had, like, if I'm remembering this correct, I think it was Bob Hope was, like, the ice cream vendor. I mean, that was a good cameo.
Yeah, right, stuff like that, exactly.
It was like, they didn't address it, it was Bob Hope, and you got it. Now he's just a nice ice cream vendor.
Hey, I'm giving up ice cream, I'm Bob Hope.
But like here, it's like a little more reliant when you know who these people are. Literally, Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga are serving lunch.
Yeah, Lady Gaga just... Well, I did like the Lady Gaga thing because it was making fun of the obligatory cameos. So.
Well, actually, Lady Gaga has worked with the Jim Henson Studio before because she uses like big, grandiose stuff in her action.
Oh, okay, I could see that. Yeah.
But still, I'll admit their cameos were good because it was part of the song.
Music, but that cameo did amuse me.
I liked.
Riley, she says it. She's just like, and one-liner cameos.
Yeah, I'll admit, in that case it was funny because they're basically saying, they're pointing out, in one-liner cameos with both of them just chiming in real quick. I mean, those two were just a wacky pairing in itself. Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett. Anyway, so continuing forward, so Muppets get in the station, and they are in Germany now, right?
Germany, are they in Germany? Hold on. I think so. Yeah, they're in Berlin, yeah.
And also, a little thing real quick. Funny little thing rewatching the movie. Kermit brings up going to London, and Dominic says, let's go to the comedy capital of the world. Berlin, Germany. We know they like to laugh.
Wow, that's some dark humor right there.
The Germans are actually very nice people.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they are, but... Oh, God.
But still, the point is, like, they mentioned London, later on they're going to go to London, so it's kind of funny that Kermit brings that up himself. Anyway, so they're in Berlin, Germany, and they go... Kermit's idea, it's not a bad idea, basically, let's book the act, and, like, they work our way up in each town, from, like, the rankest dives in town to, from, like, from Hole in the Wall Club, which says Die Muppets. Someone put the reviews up early. Ha 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 ha. Me and my father love the old guys, Walter and Stantler and Waldorf.
Oh, they're great in this movie. That's all. I mean, it's like, are they never not great? Like, they're probably great in the Muppets Wizard of Oz, for all I know.
I think they're the crows in that. I'm not sure.
What?
I think they might be the crows in that. I can't remember what they were in that. However, I remember. Remember, they were in Kermit's Swamp Piers.
Oh.
They were funny in that. Anyway, so basically it's this Die Muppets. That's really intimidating. Really, it means the Muppets, I think, but, Die Muppets.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the Simpsons Sideshow Bob. No, it doesn't say Die, Bart, die. It's German. It says, yes, Bart, yes.
And anyway, so they get one of the funny lines, and Muppets can get away with some good bathroom humor. The point is that Kermit's listing off all the burgs and the places they're at. They basically something Berg, and the last one is Fozzie brings up, and Poopenbergen. Fozzie, we have a whole week's committed to Poopenbergen. It's a simple gag.
Yeah.
There's one bathroom joke that was deleted. We'll get to that later. Anyway, continuing on.
So let's see. So
Dominic.
What?
Dominic brings up a new venue.
Yeah, and hold on. And so they're going to play at a prestigious venue,
Yes.
and but this is where Miss Piggy's like being all insistent about marriage. I think I kind of skipped ahead. I'm sorry about that.
No, she's like it through the whole movie. So, you know.
Yeah. And so Kermit, he gets all frustrated about that, and the gang's all happy that they got a venue, but Kermit, he has to kind of just walk, take a walk, get some air, sort of air out his feelings a little bit.
Well, hold on a second. Oh, we're jumping ahead. We're missing some crucial stuff.
Okay.
I'm sorry, just real quick. This essentially, so they're in this big theater Dominic suggested, and again, Dominic's being a little swarmy here, and this is a moment where I'm kind of not, I don't mind not liking it. Basically, he says, all in favor of believing in ourselves. So, well, that's not exactly what I'm saying. I'm not believe I'm voting and giving up. The point is, they choose a venue, and I love the sets and love the theaters they go to in terms of the places they visit and set design. And really nice, really nice 60s, 50s vibe of these places. They go into this grand theater across from an art museum or a bank.
Yes, crucial plot element.
And point is, Kermit's they're going through ideas on stage, remember a lot of plot points are laid out here. We should mention these. So the Muppets they want to do a whole bunch of different acts, and a lot of them are bad ideas. All of them are bad ideas. Let me see it.
Indoor running of the bulls.
The indoor running of the bulls. The bomb. The elements that come back later. The Muppet ladder. Muppet ladder hasn't worked in 20 years.
Yeah.
Which I gotta tell you, actually might be a reference to the Great Muppet Caper. I think it is.
Probably, yeah.
Because they do make a ladder in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if Gonzo wasn't really that injured, though. I think he was just joking about that. Anyway, so the point is, the Muppet ladder, bomb attracting vest, Celine Dion. These are the plot points that are made clear. And the pigs got marriage on the brains. Then a really kind of a sad line for me. It makes me a little upset because I love Gonzo, and Gonzo got a little hurtful in this scene. Basically, Dominic walks in, basically says, guys, I'm afraid that Kermit says, guys, we got to make this show good because if we don't, this could be the end of our tour. He says, we raised the funds, Muppets, and I love that. It's just subverting expectation right there. We think it's gonna be like the Muppets all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically, if we don't raise the money, the theater's gone.
Right.
So it's a little self-referential, just the Muppets' usual plot. They keep doing it a few times.
I didn't really catch the humor in that, so that's a good point. That is
because that is like a recycled plot line with the Muppets a lot. They keep almost losing the theater.
It kind of reminds me of like the American Dad Christmas special where they go up to Stan's house and it's like, oh, Stan, look, this is you as a kid. You're gonna have this happy Christmas memory, and then Stan's just like, fuck that.
Yeah. Anyway, so basically, Dominic kind of says, we sold out the show.
Oh.
And I'm sorry, here's when Miss Piggy runs out. You're right. I think Piggy runs out after this scene.
Yeah.
Point is, Gonzo's just kind of a hurtful thing, I think, when he says, actually, Kermit, I was asking Dominic what he thinks about the indoor running of the bulls.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it's a little...
I guess the thing with that is that Kermit's just turned Gonzo down so many times, so I didn't have a problem with that.
Well, still, Kermit has seniority. I mean, he's the boss of Dominic. What gives?
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
I don't know, the point is, it's an innocent thing. Also, I love Gonzo with the win. I forgot to mention that. It's a hilarious gag to me when he's pitching the idea of Gonzo with the win.
Yeah.
Anyways, I would say, so then, after he kind of gets into a fight with Miss Piggy, basically he's frustrated. He says, I don't mind the way that's going. She runs out crying. And then here's the bit where I want to hug Richie Gervais.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like this. Whenever I see this scene, just makes me. It seems so genuine on Richie Gervais's behalf. Kermit the Frog is just sitting on stage there, sad. He's thinking over things, and Richie Gervais walks over and he sits down next to you, he sits down on stage because he's taller than him, talking to Kermit. And I just love that little action. He puts his hand on his back and basically says, he says kind of a sweet yet sour line. He basically says, "It's not. They still love you. They just like me more." And again, first of all, I just love the action of him walking over and putting his hand on Kermit's shoulders. I don't know, it just makes me want to go to Gervais like, oh, it's like so nice.
I don't know, but to me, man, it kind of makes the character a little swarmy because this is literally like exactly before he's about to like backstab Kermit and throw him in a frickin', indirectly throw him in a frickin' Soviet prison. So.
It is. But I'm just saying that it's still the whole action. It makes you. It's like a villain you love to hate because you can't be mad at the guy because he does something so nice like that, even though it's part of a grand evil plot. I don't know. It's just like he's treating. Props to Gervais. He's like
mad at Bane because he admired the little kids singing.
Oh come on, I think he's being passive aggressive with the kids. Anyway, point is,
voice.
It's not like he killed the kid.
You don't know if he didn't kill the kid in the.
He didn't kill the kid. He waited for him to get off this. He waited for him to get out of the stadium.
Right.
Anyway, my point is, again, props to Gervais for like treating Kermit like a real person. He's sitting down next and looking at him in the eye. It's a nice little bit, like subtle bit with the Muppets, you know?
Yeah, fantastic.
It takes you back to kind of the Muppet Show when they would like talk to celebrities on the Muppet Show a little bit. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we're Sesame Street even. Right. A smidge of Sesame Street. Anyway, so basically he gives him says he wants to go for a stroll, gives him a map to a specific location.
Yeah, see, it's like he might be doing, he might be like making a kind gesture, but he definitely doesn't have good intentions.
Which makes him such a cool villain.
I know.
There's a moment that really takes me back to classic Muppet movie. Like I'm saying, like the Muppet movie and Great Muppet Caper, a moment where Kermit's walking around and he like passes a live-action chicken, and basically, and he says, "Guten Tag." It's such a classic Muppet moment. That's what they would do. They would, acknowledge the live-action settings like that. So he's walking in this really 60s stylized Berlin, Germany. It looks really nice, really great set.
Yeah, it's a good set, yeah.
It's all foggy, the people running in terror, and basically then, like a shark, Constantine appears. Boo. Ah! Slaps on the mole. Tiki. Slaps on the mole! There we go. Slaps on the mole.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my slideshow back on.
We'll get to it. Slaps on the mole, and let's see, so then he disappears maniacally. And then this lady comes out and says, "The evil Froggen! Evil Froggen!" And the point is evil frog, and we see a whole bunch of wanted posters behind Kermit. I gotta tell you, in the trailer, I thought it was going to be much more comical given the trailer, but it feels a little more like not terrifying, but just a little more anxious.
Yeah, it's kind of intense. Yeah,
that's the term.
Kermit because it's just happening so suddenly, and it's like
it's like you feel bad. You feel so like in Kermit's shoes in this moment. You feel
exactly.
Fear.
Right.
Like it's like getting crowded, like people are crowding around him, and Kermit's like in a situation he can't really translate that he's not Constantine, and he's like, I'm an amphibian American, and he's being hauled away from. It says Plot Pointenberg, by the way. On the little Plot Pointenberg. Yes, it says Plot Pointenberg. Or it's either Plot Pointenberg or Plottenberg. No, I'm looking at it right now. It says Plot Pointenberg.
Oh God, that's great.
Plot Pointenberg to Siberia, Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, I'm an amphibian American. Then he's gonna hold. It feels really. You're right. It feels really intense. As him.
Like, how would you feel as an Indigo American if you were in a similar situation? And like, let's say Adventure Blue dude caused some shit, and then you were mistaken for him. How would you feel as an Indigo American?
I'd feel my color, Tiki.
Well, there you go. All right.
Anyway, so the point is, anyway, Kermit. It's really intense seeing the Kermit's being sworn by these guys. He can't really do anything. You feel so bad. Oh, poor Kermit the Frog again. It's a gutsy move for the movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Again, on paper, this premise sounds absurd as heck, but it really sells you on it. Point is, your main character is thrown in a Siberian prison, and he's being replaced by an exact duplicate. Doppelganger, who's a Russian.
Russian accent. Oh.
Uh-huh. And the rest of the characters are just going to abide by this. They're not going to catch on. And he was like, "It's not easy being mean." Constantine, you gotta look Constantine because again, he's a Muppets. He's not exactly a diehard Muppets fan, but he knows about the Muppets. He's quoting Kermit the Frog, and he's making fun of it.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Anyway, so he's
It's like the anti-Walter in a way.
The anti-what?
The anti-Walter.
Oh, right. Yeah, but he doesn't really know them. He doesn't really watch the Muppets, so that's the thing. Because he has to study his Kermit tapes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
Yes, so, point is, Kermit's thrown in the side. It's a real gutsy move to just replace your character with a Russian duplicate. Anyway.
Yeah, for a really good chunk of the movie. Like, I'm going to say at least like a 50 to 60% chunk of the movie, if not more.
Yeah, so Kermit's been framed, Plot Pointenberg, and he comes back, and the rest of the Muppets don't catch on except Animal.
Bad frog!
And I love how they use that later on.
Oh, that's just fantastic. I love the way that they're using Animal in these new movies. I love how it's like, how they're using like his,
Jack Black's his sponsor in group therapy.
Yeah, oh, that's wonderful.
No drums!
No drums!
Anyways, the idea Animal's the only Muppet that catches on to Constantine, but he can't really speak, so no one gets it. It's like Lassie. Anyway, so also I love it. One of my favorite bits here. We kind of opened the video with this. Walter has his doubts, or at least his gut feeling doubts that this is Kermit. Basically, the rationale is that Kermit has a cold right now. That's why he sounds different.
Yeah,
Pig.
Yeah, Dominic walks in and he's just like, "Oh, guys, so Kermit has a cold, but he's right here. So say hi, Kermit."
Hello.
Buddy, let's start the show.
And then, Miss Pig, I have wronged you, and for that,
He says that about 24 times in the movie.
Yes, who cares? Anyway, so then Walter comes by, he has his doubts, and then he says, "Come, little friend, let's go put on heartwarming, let's go put on family-style entertainment and learn heartwarming lesson and learn about things like the number 3.
That sounds about as convincing as Tommy Wiseau trying to pitch a heartwarming family TV program. You just know it's not going to turn out well.
So the puppy has cancer, and then we stay with the puppy through his last day. I don't know, something heartwarming. Anyway. That'd be Tommy Wiseau's idea of heartwarming. Anyway, so let's see. So Adam's the only kid who's on Walter has his doubts. Again, the plan is established here by Constantine and Dominic while they're in the office. Basically saying their plan is to use the Muppet World Tour to travel the world, steal the what they need to steal the crown jewels, and initially frame the Muppets. That's the scapegoat. Frame the Muppets because they're going to be going around these places. They're going to be under suspicion. Which, by the way, I want to point this out. It's a big plot thing. It might be a flaw if you don't really think about this. So the crown jewels are priceless.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so bear in mind, because they blow a lot of dough on this plan. I want to point that out. A lot of money. Yeah. They blow a lot of dough. So, I mean, these gems have to be priceless. So I guess priceless makes up for all the dough they've blown, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Plus, there's a bunch of gems. I mean, they're one-of-a-kind gems, too. They're literally the royal gems.
Right.
So, I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to sell them, though, I imagine. But it's also, for Constantine, it's really about reputation, though. Constantine wants to be the world's...
Guardians of the Galaxy now.
Pretty much, like, world's most... Well, do you mean Infinity Gem, or do you mean, like,
Yeah, I mean the Infinity Gem, yeah.
I'm thinking, like, how he keeps repeating that he's the world's most dangerous frog, kind of like I'm Groot.
No, I'm saying that the jewels are kind of like the Infinity Gem.
Right. Something along those lines. Anyway, so that's the plan. Then we have a great song.
Oh, yeah.
Dominic saying, Oh, we should have mentioned that right after Constantine broke out of prison, the Muppet News guy came on saying, Constantine has escaped.
I love the way they use the Muppet Newsman. Oh my god. Oh god.
Basically saying, this is a Muppet News flash. Constantine, the world's most dangerous frog, has escaped the Siberian gulag. And also, the world's most #1 criminal, only above the lemur. The number 2. Anyway, so then we have a whole song detailing that relationship, basically saying, so my name will go down in history as Constantine, the world's most dangerous frog. He says, you mean our names? Of course. My name, spacebar, 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 your name.
Your name.
And then take us through the song, Tiki.
Oh, the song is just it's just a delightful little duet in the grand style of Muppets duets.
It reminds you of the Muppet Show. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me a lot of Gene Kelly and Kermit the Frog dancing.
Yeah, I can totally see that. A lot of great dancing. I'm sure Ricky Gervais. Just props to him for his physical performance here, but it's very funny lyrically because it's all about Constantine with every line. He's just trying to one up Dominic by just being like, "Oh, I'm #1. You have #2."
I love how Dominic prerequisites the song, saying, yes, you said I'm #2, you're #1. I think you kind of established that.
Yeah.
And anyways, the last thing, not last thing, one thing I want to say. Yeah, I think I'm like 90% sure it's a direct reference to Gene Kelly because the whole thing about Gene Kelly and Kermit the Frog dancing is they did like he's against the black screen with being puppeteered, so it looks like Kermit's dancing on his own. And they really perfected it since then with this movie. Boy, it looks seamless, doesn't it, of Constantine dancing?
It's fantastic. Yeah, absolutely.
It just shows you how amazing that puppeteering has come along since then. Just Constantine dancing on this big old set, like a musical production set, like this big old stairway.
Yeah, and I just feel like these new Muppet movies are just pushing the boundaries for puppetry just more and more, and that's fantastic.
And not losing sight of what got them started.
It's so easy to just cheat and use CGI for shots, but they don't do that. They rarely do that, and I have to applaud them so much for that.
And they don't lose sense of who they are. That's the best part. Yeah. Anyway, so they're doing like, I'm #1, you're #2, we're criminals at large, I am larger than you are, doing each other pretty much, and basically says, dance, monkey, dance. Oh, I hate dancing.
And now I have to dance, monkey, dance.
Yeah, Gervais is amazing. He's getting involved in it. These two have a great rapport together.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, he actually breaks in a little bit out of the British accent for a moment, where he's saying, someday I'm gonna get my chance, but right now I have to dance, monkey dance. And a little fun guy, he's not dancing in the moment where they look down, you see the feet doing fancy stuff, and he's just like, up there's a happy-go-lucky guy. Look, Ma, I'm dancing. And then it's constantly doing the split where he falls, and great puppeteering again, and then it just culminates in going in the office, and again, it's just it shows the relationship between these two. Constantine's going to end up #1 no matter what it takes, even though Gervais is doing a lot of the legwork, literally.
Oh yeah.
And basically pushes him down below the desk, and he comes out, he's dancing on his head at the end. Scooters comes in saying, boss, 15 minutes of show.
Oh, I love that. Oh, God, that's great.
Okay, I'll mention this now, I guess. There was another scene, I don't know if it was here, but it was like one of these scenes where Scooter tells him how many minutes of the show. You see in the trailer Constantine's doing the karate. They kept another one of that in the actual film. However, deleted version is Constantine's doing karate saying, I'm not going to go out on stage. And Gervais Dominic has to convince him. Basically, 1 moment, Scooter. Give us a minute, Scooter. They go into the bathroom. And it's like a little label on top that says, men and women's room. When they're in the bathroom, basically saying, they're going through the whole. Okay, I'm #1. I'm #2. #2 is asking you to do #1. So the point is, Scooter's there listening in on this, and basically he's hearing #2. And it's a cheap bathroom joke. I'm not sad that they lost it. The point is. It's funny, but you don't want too much bathroom humor with the
Yeah,
Muppets.
yeah. No, I very much thought this was a great gag because it was just it almost, dare I say, it almost reminded me of like a Seth MacFarlane moment of just like, just someone like walking in on just a really uncomfortable circumstance and just be like, oh,
Well,
hey.
he's just standing on his head. Again,
Yeah.
I told you it was much worse in the deleted version. You're talking about number 1 and number 2.
Oh God, right, right.
Anyway, let's see. So what happens next? I think. So I guess Constantine's opening the show then, right?
Yeah, yeah. He opens the show and wait, hold on.
He gets stage fright.
Are we
They did number 1, number 2.
yeah, but are we going over? Are we skipping over Nadia's song, or is that next?
No, we're not even in the prison yet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah,
We
he
get to the.
right. He's just like welcome to the Muppet Show.
And then we see from his view. I'll admit, I agree with Captain Logan here. It is a missed opportunity. They didn't really use this in the third act or anywhere. They didn't really play with this anymore. He has stage fright.
Yeah, because it was a really funny idea, and he really kind of gets over it very fast. So.
I'll admit, I thought it was coming back. I didn't expect a third act or anything. I thought it was just going to come back again, to be honest with you. But they kind of just went blew past it, I guess. It's fine. It's just a minor thing.
Yeah.
Point is, like, he has stage fright, and he's kind of.
This is where we get Christoph Waltz dancing the waltz, right?
Just about. Okay. Kermit, they do the opening number. Basically, Scooter's taking over. He's like the number 2 in charge of the place.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, number 2. No, I'm kidding. Point is, Scooter says, it's a Muppet Show with Christoph Waltz. What's happening? Am I flying? I love the audience's reaction. They're horrified by Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog, the opening he has done for God knows how many years.
Right,
He's fallen through the O of the Muppet Show, fallen right on the ground. And Sweetums, like Miss Piggy's like, what? And Sweetums, which by the way, unfortunately, we lost Sweetums after this movie. The performer who played Sweetums.
Right.
That's Jim Henson's son, by the way, one of them. Sweetums hauls him off the stage. Such a funny one. Then we get into time for seeing a waltz with Christoph, the Christoph Waltz, and it's Christoph Waltz dancing with Sweetums.
Yeah, very funny concept.
Then again, it kind of makes me miss the departed Sweetums. But it was the fact Sweetums dancing with Christoph Waltz. It's hilarious. Baby, you set my world on fire. Oh.
Yeah.
Did someone say explosions? Who said I set his world on fire? Explosions! And it's clever that Constantine is thought integrating these acts in the heist, basically the loud noises to account for the explosions that they would need to pull off the heist.
Right, yeah, that is a very integral part of the whole thing.
Really smart idea, and that goes, no, I didn't get stage fright if that's what you're thinking. Anyway, they steal the painting, and again, the heist and the robberies are really well done.
Oh.
So basically, they steal the Muppet painting of Colonel Blood. The Muppet painting of Colonel Blood, and basically they cover their tracks by stealing. Again, smart move on the thieves' behalf. You covering their tracks, putting it on the lemur.
Right, yeah.
They pin it on the lemur, and then then the best team up ever happens. Well, for the Muppets. Sam the Eagle is investigating this, along with Jean-Claude Napoleon, played by Ty Burrell.
Oh, God.
The CIA meets the French police. And I should mention Ty Burrell. Another influence on this film was the Pink Panther, again with all the heists and the robberies. And of course with John.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sure.
And of course with Jean-Claude, because he's doing an homage to Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers being a big name that guest star on Muppets also.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Especially that's Jason. That's Jason Segel's favorite guest star on Muppets, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Peter Sellers fan, going back to
Peters.
Strangelove. So yeah, I can really appreciate that.
Sellers is freaking awesome. Anyway, so he's doing like a bit of a Clouseau homage with his performance. Again, gotta love Ty Burrell's performance of this character. He's so fun. The two of these guys together, it's so great.
I love Sam's role in this thing, and I think it's like it's almost sort of like making up to the audience for them sort of butchering his thing where he like openly sings in the first place. I know it's like a minor plot hole, but it really bothers me.
Yeah.
During Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah, but I think because it's a barbershop quartet, he's okay with it. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what? I'd like to think that the whole reason why he split up from the Muppets in this movie is he's like, oh, those weirdos made me sing a song. They know I don't like singing. I'm done with this.
Do you think he doesn't know Fozzie's name because he doesn't care, or because he just he genuinely doesn't know, even though he's worked with him before?
He genuinely just does not care. Like, he is just above all of these people. And that's what's played up so great about Sam in this movie, and it really makes him one of the most memorable parts of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so
I wasn't expecting him to be in this much or to have this much of an impact, but God, he is just like on fire in this movie. Like,
oh yeah.
Really, the thing that I remember Sam Eagle from the most is actually Muppet Vision 3D.
Yeah, me too.
And now a salute to all nations, but mostly America.
I love that. Anyway, Sam Eagle, he's great. Points a whole bunch of great teamings of the guest stars in the Muppets, usually, for this film.
Oh, yeah.
And this is one of the strongest ones, against Sam Eagle and John Claude. Basically, first of all, the badge face-off. It was in the trailer.
I feel like that's something that they shouldn't have spoiled in the trailer.
Yeah, it's so funny. Why did they put in the trailer? Anyway, so they're showing off the badges. Basically, whoever is the biggest badge is kind of a contest of sorts. Show the badge thing. Oh, that's just my travel badge. That's just my travel badge. Here's my real badge. Oh, I think you're looking at the wrong badge. He has like a sort of Superman badge under his shirt, and he says, "Oh, you win this round, Pierre. My name is Jean-Claude." Okay, well, Sean. I love how he thinks his name, and he keeps calling him that too. He thinks he's Sean.
That's gloriously racist right there.
By the way, I'm glad you brought that up, Tiki. Technically, should races be offended by the stereotypes in the movie, or should they just?
I don't know. I mean,
I'm saying we got Russian, we got Russian.
Because Sam is just kind of ignorant like that. You know what I mean?
I don't mean just that though. I mean, also we got kind of stereotypical Russian in this movie.
Oh yeah. Oh, we do have stereotypical Russians.
I'm just saying, should Russians and French? French, they take a lot of barbs at the French in this movie with Jean-Claude. I'm just saying he takes a lot of breaks. I'm saying should we
ask our friend Milan his opinion on?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I brought the movie up to him, and he never got a chance to watch it because the release dates and so on and so forth.
Oh yeah, right. I would be curious to see like how he'd respond to all the prison stuff. He'd probably like it, knowing him, but whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, so I wonder if so just answer the question. So what do you think? Do you think should the other races be offended, or are we wrong to like that? Are we wrong to laugh at that?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I think it's funny. I don't think it's really making a barb at the race. It's just saying, oh, these guys are funny. They happen to be Russian or happen to be French. And yeah, French people do kind of do that, but it's like the movie.
Thing, I honestly think part of the joke is that you can tell that most of the people in there aren't actually Russian. Like, for God's sakes, you got Danny Trejo as one of the main inmates in there, so it's like.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not just that. I mean, like Constantine and Nadia specifically.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's because I think we're allowed to be okay with that because like their movie. Mainly because they're movie stereotypes.
It's like you're going to be offended by that. Why, like we have to be offended by Cate Blanchett in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just like.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's because as long as they're entertaining, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it's offensive at all.
They're entertaining and they're movie characters. I think that's the reason we're okay with it.
Yeah.
So I want to point out in case anyone's just this something kind of dawned on me rewatching it. I'm saying, particularly with John Close, they take a lot of barbs at John Close with kind of the French quality, but he takes a lot of breaks.
But like I said, a lot of the comedy about that comes from Sam being ignorant, so that I think you can kind of really give a pass to.
That never even came across me, but yeah, okay, anyway, so let's see. I'm saying, like, John Craig takes, like, 6-hour lunch breaks, is what I'm saying. I don't know. I think it's more so like a police gag.
The points of his character is that he's always taking breaks and going on vacation and everything.
I don't know, I think it's just like kind of like the lazy cop angle is what they're going for. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they were trying to like make fun of the French specifically with that.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's going into basically they're investigating. They see it's the lemur. They call him code lemur. What's a lemur? The lemur is the number 2 criminal in the world, and he's my arch nemesis. No, what is a lemur? Oh, it's a little monkey from Madagascar. Then James McAvoy comes by. A package for you, sir. Thank you. And here's your rope. Thank you.
And then, if you have someone as awesome as James McAvoy, fucking use them for something that's cooler than just delivering a package. I love James McAvoy. He's awesome.
McAvoy is good. You know, to be honest with you, I would have made him the other guard, to be honest with you, along with Toby Jones. But anyway.
Wait. I thought you mean the other guard, like the Watchtower guard?
No. I mean the.
Stanley Tucci's the Watchtower guard.
I know that. I know. Yeah, that's Stanley Tucci. But I mean the Smash Statue guards.
Yeah. Right.
The other one I couldn't quite place the face, but I knew one of them. I'm saying compare that one with James McAvoy, 2 Marvel actors in the same. Anyway. Let's continue forward. Anyway, boys, he beats him with the badge. Yeah. Bigger badge, America. Oh, yeah. Then we, speaking of American, we go to Russia, where current beloved American icon Kermit the Frog imprisoned in Russian gulag.
Yeah, and here's where the Shawshank comparisons really start up. Like as soon as Kermit enters the prison, it's framed very much like Shawshank, where you've got all the prisoners sort of like intimidating him and everything.
You know what would have been funny?
What?
And Morgan Freeman has a sense of humor. They could have just got Morgan Freeman there as like
oh god, why? Come on, why didn't?
I'm saying, like, what if Kermit the Frog's cellmate? If Kermit the Frog and Morgan Freeman.
Such a missed opportunity. Oh god, that would be awesome. If Morgan Freeman was just some wise old man that Kermit just confided in.
Think about it. Now think about it. He gets a poster in my mind, Tiki.
Man can get you things.
Now think about it. In my mind, Morgan Freeman's at that prison because he gets a poster of Miss Piggy. We don't know where he got it from. I'm assuming Morgan Freeman's in that prison and gave it to him. That's my assumption.
Right.
Anyway, so let's see. So Kermit's in the gulag, and they mistake him for Constantine. Includes hilariously Ray Liotta, which cracks me up. Ray Liotta, who has been
probably in this section.
Oh yeah, Ray Liotta actually was in a Muppet movie before this.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Muppets from Space. He plays the really nice guard, which plays against his type. Danny Trejo, who plays himself.
Yeah, Danny Trejo. It's like Danny Trejo. He's just in a Russian prison. Makes sense.
I feel bad. I can't remember the actor. I think it's like I'm just vaguely remembering his name. I think it's like Jean Clement or something. Point is, he played. I'm pretty sure he played the bad guy in Men in Black 3.
Mm-hmm.
He plays the prison king, the main prisoner guy, the one who speaks and shakes Kermit's hands. Okay. That guy. Prison king is what his name is. He's good. Basically, they would give him the crown made of sporks, which needs to be size adjusted for Constantine and Kermit. Also, a little note that we got the Muppet Miss Piggy.
Yeah, that was great.
And also for huge Muppet fans, all the Muppets that are in prison aside from her are from Muppet Treasure Island. They're the bad guy pirates from that movie.
Oh God! Oh, I totally see it. Oh, that's wonderful.
Especially, I think the most notable one's the one that's snapping when you enter a frame.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Anyway, so then point is they find out. Oh, he's Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta's so bloodthirsty. He suggests tearing him apart, putting him in some sort of shredder or something. Point is like doing something terrible to the frog, tearing him apart. And then Tina Fey comes in, and I fall in love with her in this scene.
Yeah,
Uh,
like I said, I'm not very big on Tina Fey. I don't really like 30 Rock. To me, 30 Rock is sort of like pat yourself on the back, self-referential sort of humor that I'm just
well,
not into.
well, look, let me
But
say this about. I'm sorry, go ahead.
well, I just like with her, like this is totally not a Liz Lemon character. This is like her character here is totally lovable, and I guess like my thing with Tina Fey is that she plays the same type of character so much that when she goes outside of the box is when I really like her because she definitely has talent.
Like, Tina Fey, I think Tina Fey, I'm kind of with you, Tiki. I'm not a huge Tina Fey fan. I don't really watch 30 Rock. I hear good
I got
things. I
like
don't like it.
honestly, I got like the whole thing with her imitating Sarah Palin got so old and overexposed that it almost became like a Borat or Napoleon Dynamite sort of thing. Whereas,
Uh,
shut up! Just shut up! If you quote it again, I swear to God.
the point is, yeah, I'm not a huge Tina Fey fan either. I hear good things about 30 Rock. I don't watch it personally.
Yeah,
But,
like I said, I'm not. Well, first of all, Tracy Morgan has said some things about autistic people that personally very much offend me, but that's a whole other story. But
anyway,
30 Rock, like I said, it's just it kind of bothers me that it's basically like, oh, you know, do you get it? It's supposed to be like we're working on Saturday Night Live, except it's not Saturday Night Live. I don't know. It's just that sort of self-referential stuff for me just doesn't do it. But anyways, this isn't about
my,
you.
my point is, uh, I haven't seen her much, but what I do see her, the two things that stuck out to me with Tina Fey really are, I first started to love her in Megamind because she voices Roxanne Ritchie, and
Yeah,
I
that's
love.
true. Yeah, yeah.
That's where I first really took notice of Tina Fey and started to like her. And then this movie really is when I started to really get on board with her.
Yeah, she's fantastic in this. She really won me over.
Again, I kid you not, my heart swells with love for this lady in this movie. I fall
You
head over.
believe that a prison guard can love a frog.
Oh yeah, I'm with you there because basically I feel kind of like how Tina Fey. I feel kind of like how Nadia feels about Kermit with Tina Fey in this movie. I love
Right,
her.
right.
I love everything about her. She's cute. She's adorable. She's
Right.
hilarious.
You
She's
want to take us through the
giving.
song she has?
What?
The song? You want to take us through the song?
Sure. Yeah. So Nadia comes in basically. She takes us through the. She welcomes Kermit to the big house. You know, welcome to the big house. You know, mucho de casa grande, the big house. And I wish more prisons were like this.
They are proud of their eclectic clientele.
Yeah. Essentially, you're going through the prison, the classic kind of a Grease-ish number, but in a good way, because Grease doesn't really do it for me.
No, I'm right there with you.
Point is, like, what if they're going through the prison, basically saying, comparing the prison to like a hotel, a place to stay. It's no Hyatt or
Right, yeah.
it's no Hyatt, but the reviews are good.
The way the chef makes the food is criminal.
Stuff like that. We're not doing the song justice, folks. You really watch the thing or
No,
buy
we're
the
not.
soundtrack or something.
We're
It's
not
really
doing
good stuff.
songs justice.
Yeah, by no means. The point is, all the songs in this movie are great.
Like with the songs, it's like I feel like with the first movie, the big standout was "Life Is a Happy Song."
Oh yeah.
And none of the other songs in that movie really approached the quality of that.
No, Pictures in My Head was good.
Yeah, it was good. I don't think it was quite as memorable, but
Well, bringing back the old ones was a good move also. Like Rainbow Connection.
well, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love Rainbow Connection in that movie, but I'm just saying in terms of original songs.
Right. Anyway,
What I'm trying to say is that I think with this movie, none of the songs are quite as good as "Life Is a Happy Song." But I think they're all better than any of the other songs in the Muppets, if that makes any sense.
they all definitely got a good flavor and a vibe to each one. They're all catchy at the very least.
Yeah, for sure.
I enjoy them all. This one's one of my favorites though, because again, first of all, Tina Fey is not is great. Second of all, it's just such a catchy kind of '50s number. Just going through the prison, basically saying how it's early.
I love the way they tease this in the trailer, where it's just like she's just like, "Hit it, boys." And then you just see the background prisoners just start the sort of gospel
Yeah, like,
awful backup singing, but oh man, they really play with that throughout the whole movie. That was a fun surprise.
and at points in this song, you'll see Ray Liotta about to crack up laughing because he's having so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I think this might be actually the first movie where he has to sing. I'm not quite sure. At least it's one of the few he sings in because he really has a lot of fun with this movie. The point is,
I'm sure. Yeah, yeah.
so they're going through their singing about how like the prison's actually it's kind of a nice place to stay despite the fact it's a prison. It's a really fun song. You gotta watch it, folks. It's really hilarious. Going through the cells, and at the end, you see some funny stuff. Like basically, they're all breaking out in choreographed number, and basically, Tina Fey's like wagging her fingers, saying, "No, you don't." Pretty much. And then basically, I love how the song ends too. Like you're going through the prison, you're walking through, you're taking a tour of the prison. It's really nice. And then basically, they're all being ushered into their cells there because that makes sense. Okay, well now the song's over. Get back in your cells.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and again,
You know what's really great about the Nadia character though, is that she does genuinely have an affection for her prisoners. It's not like she's some evil prison guard, which I thought she was going to be some hard-nosed prison guard from the trailer, like the bit where, turn the lights off, no, turn them back on, I cannot see anything. Like, I thought she was going to be, like, way more hard-nosed.
I'm kind of with you there, Tiki. I thought when she threw Kermit...
The whole movie, and she takes her job taking care of these prisoners like she's taking care of people in a hospital or something. And it's so genuine.
It's like she's a camp counselor.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, when she throws Kermit in the trailer and basically says, you're not going in there, Constantine. He says, I am not Constantine. Just kind of shuts him out. That makes her look kind of like a little stereotypical guard. But no, they get a lot of dimension to her.
Right, yeah.
Point
that
is...
was the biggest surprise, because I was not looking forward to her at all, so...
I love
what they did.
Plus, I gotta tell you, she looks very attractive, too. I mean, she's
oh, yes.
She's, I guess, a trifecta. She's knocking all the balls out of the park here, and she's doing a great job.
Oh,
anyway, so like she's a...
What? Watch it, BlueDragonFive.
What?
Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just joshing you.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Anyway. Bounds.
Anyway. What is it, catchy? The term I usually use for really good songs I like are they're melodically pleasing, and I think that applies to these songs. Really melodically pleasing. You just enjoy hearing them.
Right, sure.
Anyway, so basically, so please enjoy your stay. Really, really nice. And then basically throws Kermit in the cell last. And then basically says, I'm not Constantine. And the deleted scene was her explaining Constantine's background, saying where he came from and whatnot. Then she walked out.
I'm kind of glad that stuff got copied, because really I think Constantine sort of had the perfect amount of background as it was. I don't really think we need to know all that much.
Yeah, the only thing that really revealed was that he likes bombs. That's all that was revealed.
No! Constantine likes bombs?
Exactly. I mean, when he blows up the phone... It's when he blows up the phone you get it. He likes explosions. That's all it really means.
Right.
Anyway, so then Kermit says... Second person. Also, I like how she says. I love how she mentions, like, well, how come you says I'm not Constantine? Then what do I explain that mole? Says no, he glued it to me. He says, well, as far as the authorities are concerned, you're Constantine. You're gonna stay here.
Oh.
So I like that. So again, it's giving dimension more than the trailer did with that.
Yeah, and this is like really kind of where it starts to sort of get into Shawshank mode, where it's like. They discover pretty quickly on, they really do kind of accept that he's not Constantine, and yet, because of the screwed up law system, he can't be released, and of course, I love how it's sort of like a reverse on the storyline with the warden in Shawshank, where it's like, with the warden, all he wants to do is sort of like suck Andy dry for all his baking skills, and with Nadia, it's like, not only does she have a genuine affection for Kermit, a genuine Helga Pataki-esque almost obsession for Kermit, but she's also, but Kermit also helps with the talent shows, and, it helps with prisoner morale, and it's just like, this place would not be the same without you, Kermit.
Yep. Also, in the Big Ass we're introduced to, I'm just going to give it away now, Josh Groban's character. I gotta say, the thing rewatching this that kind of occurred to me is, what crime did he do that he has to be locked in that thing 24/7?
Yeah, I gotta say, it really bothers me that this guy isn't like a big, like, known face celebrity.
Yeah.
Because it's just like they set up the joke so much, and then it's like it's just someone who, like, I don't know who it is. You
I
know
gotta
who.
tell you, I would have loved it if Seth MacFarlane was that guy, but you
Oh
know,
my god, that would have been glorious.
I would have, launched from my seat happy. Anyway, so let's see. Continuing forward. Its point is, basically, she takes the point to say, yeah, you're just part of the system, and usually the hallway blacks out. It's like, wait until I get out of the door before you get the lights out. Then let's see, where are we? I think we're in
We're in
we're on the
Madrid.
yeah, we're in Madrid. They looked on the map. They used lemon juice they superheated the lemon juice so they could see what the map says. Said Madrid. They're in Madrid now.
Mhm.
And
And
now we.
Constantine, as Kermit, everyone's kind of coming up with acts, and Constantine's just like, sure, do whatever you want. And this makes Walter very suspicious.
You guys have all the freedom you want.
Oh god. Can I do the running with the bulls? Sure.
Yeah, sure. Who cares? Zongo.
What?
Zongo. He keeps mispronouncing the names. Like Zongo,
Oh, yeah.
Fonzie. Fonzie. But also, I love the bit where he mentioned this earlier in the opening. I love the bit where he's going over the Kermit the Frog tapes. Which, first of all, I just love the music cue here. Basically, he's watching the tapes, and then kind of like it. When he pauses the tape and it cuts back to him, it has this creepy little note playing.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's creepy little bit that plays when he get that freeze frame cue, like and he says "Yaaay."
Yeah.
It's just so it fits the character so perfectly that he's just there's an off kilter Kermit the Frog,
Right.
and then like the whole hi ho, this is Kermit the Frog. Hi law, this is Kermit the Frog.
Hey,
And of course the funniest part. The emotional Jim Henson singing Lovers, Dreamers, and Me. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. And Constantine saying, the lovers, the dreamers, and cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. So anyway, so we have the Spanish opening in the Muppet Show, which is really well done.
Oh yeah.
Then,
fantastic.
starring Selma Hayek.
Selma Hayek.
Now this was a good cameo. I love this.
Yeah, it was.
And again, kind of I don't want. It sounds a little bit of a stereotype thing to do because they have Christoph Waltz. I remember what the gag was. It was basically him saying, the lead thing with Christoph Waltz is that they were saying he's Austrian, which is that's a part of Germany, right?
Oh.
Saying he's Austrian basically because Scooter said Australian. So no one's Austrian.
Right.
And basically, there's an Australian act off stage saying, "Wait, are we going on or what?" Mate. Anyway, so that was the gag that was cut. Anyway, so think about it. We got a German guy for Berlin. We got someone Spanish for for Madrid.
Oh.
I don't know who the ballerina was. I still don't know. But I presume maybe Irish. I don't know. No idea. Anyway, so I'm just saying a little kind of maybe a double joke there. Boy, somehow she's great. Basically saying, Gonzo, I'm not sure about this. Oh, it'll be great.
Oh god.
Meanwhile, they're down there. They're smashing all the statues. A whole bunch of statues.
Yep. They're just they're smashing up statues like Garvey Sr. was smashing up the library and the leftovers. Oh yes, reference because it just got renewed. Watch it, check it out.
And within the bust that looks like number 2, they have the key, Colonel Blood's key, which they're going to use later on. Then our guards come in, and after running the bulls goes terribly wrong. Who could have foreseen this? Me! Here they come again. Toby Jones, and Toby Jones walks in. Armin Zola from Captain America.
Yeah. Also, he played. He was the not Philip Seymour Hoffman version of Truman Capote.
Right. So anyway, so Debbie Jones realizes, the robbery's happening. That's not good. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I think we glazed over something big.
What we glaze over?
This is important. Before Madrid, we were on the train. They found out they need to go to the museum with the heads in it, and he's evilly plotting. Just They basically have to smash like 200 statues, and they have to plot. So let me plot, and it's so hilarious when he just looks off in the distance with his fingers up plotting. Then Miss Piggy comes, Kermie, I decide to accept your apology. Then funny line by Constantine saying, Pig, do I look like I'm wearing a sign that says bother me? She runs off. My favorite line by Richard Gervais. What was that?
What was that? Oh,
He's
God.
only plotting.
Richard Gervais channeling Max Theriot right there.
Hilarious. At the point he's just saying, bother me? What was that?
What was that?
Runs, Born said, he said, bottom line, keep the pig happy. Then he sings the song everyone remembers in this movie. I can give you what you want, as a cheesy 80s song, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm
not really a big fan of this one, to tell you.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tiki. Neither am I. I think I see why people like it, but I like the other songs more.
The truth, I think it kind of slows down the movie a little bit.
I think it goes on a smidge too long.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just it's my least favorite.
Yeah, I hear you.
I like all the different props that he brings up.
Sure. Yeah. That's fun.
Like the thingy thing. I love the thingy thing.
Uh-huh.
And the extended version, there's more props. That's pretty much it. Also, we saw that. Meanwhile, while this frog's hitting on the pig, the other frog's despairing over the pig. Yeah, he's in his cell with the Morgan Freeman poster he got.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Basically, Kermit's in despair, which I think the overall message of this film. Now, this is important. I want to mention this right now, Kermit.
Sure.
Now, remember, basically, Kermit says, my friends will come through for me. I think Kermit's big arc in this movie, the emotional resonancy of this film is that Kermit realizes Kermit's facing facts that, maybe the Muppets don't actually need him. And so they got the gang back together, but really Walter got the gang back together. Kermit didn't. And Kermit is usually the glue that holds the Muppets together, so when you get rid of that glue, can the Muppets stay together? We see not exactly. And Kermit's kind of wondering, who am I without the Muppets? I mean, those guys are my family without them.
Yeah.
Are they better off without me? I mean, they're doing everything they wanted. This Dominic guy kind of proved that.
So Kermit's arc is really, learning to be, less taking control and more about just having faith in the Muppets to do their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's kind of like Kermit, the thought Kermit never really had in the Muppet movies, like, what am I going to do after the Muppets? What do I do without the Muppets? Which we saw in the Muppets what he was doing. He was just being alone. He didn't seem all that happy.
Depressing.
Yeah. So I'm saying that's the point. Kermit without the Muppets. They keep playing it. That's interesting. Well, the next movie's going to soon be called The Muppet.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so after that, so the robbery happened. I love this gag. Sam and Jean-Claude are just waiting in the French office, at the French police station. And first of all, Sam the Eagle has this huge mug to drink his coffee from.
Yeah.
And Jean-Claude has his little teeny thumb-sized drinking cup. With the pinky up, too, I think. I don't know. And basically, Sam says, in America we have 3D high-definition grids to look up these 3D imaging software to look up the criminals. So we're just waiting here until they commit the next crime. Yes. Says, well, in America we don't have just a piece of cardboard with a blinky light. There's the blinky light. Basically, we wait for the blinky light. Says, we don't wait for a blinky light. We use high definition. There's the blinky light. Let's go. And they take a 37-hour drive in a little tiny car. I love the little tiny car. I have an affinity for smart cars, and just seeing this thing makes me so happy.
Yeah, this car becomes like a character in itself.
And remember how Jean-Claude builds it up? Apparently the French love tiny things.
I guess so. I mean, remember the Italian Job? I mean, I guess that's not the French, but like the Italian Job, that was a movie that was all about like, oh, mini cars, yay!
I don't know if it's a reference to the new Pink Panthers with Steve Martin, but he also drives a smart car in that one.
Yeah, right.
This is smaller than a smart car, mind you, but still, it is illegal because of its large size. And then they took a 37-hour drive from Europe to Madrid.
Oh god.
I love it when they're driving this little car through public spaces, like the communion areas, people are eating and drinking, having their lunches, driving through like the train stations. Point is, they go there and they basically say the Muppets. Before they realize it's the Muppets, Jean-Claude says, "Oh, time for break." He puts on his slippers, goes on break next to one of these tables. He says, "Okay, overtime. Let's go to the train station." Jean-Claude, I love how he has the slippers handy.
Yeah. I mean, of course, it just makes sense. He's a hard-working man, so he's got to come prepared for his break.
He takes 6-hour lunch breaks. He doesn't seem hard-working at all. Anyway, so basically,
part of the hard-working attitude is, knowing when to take your breaks. Knowing when to, knowing when to break and knowing when to be in action. I think John Claus got that down.
and now he's getting overtime.
Oh God.
Anyway, take us through what happens. Keep going.
Okay, so at this point, let's see. Sorry.
Interrogation.
What?
Interrogation.
Oh God! Oh, the interrogation song.
So the Muppets are like detained at the train station.
Right.
Okay, keep going.
And so this is probably my favorite song in the whole movie.
This might be my third favorite. I love it so much, though.
Because Jean-Claude and Sam are just playing off of each other so well, and they're playing off of the Muppets. And it's like, I love the dimension of when Sam's talking to Kermit, and you know that Sam has a lot of resentment towards Kermit, and it's not actually Kermit, and it's just, it's so much fun. Again,
melodically pleasing, but also very kinetic songs. It's bouncing off each other constantly. There's a build there.
Yeah, like dance. And then, of course, Miss Piggy comes up, and it's like, and then Jean-Claude just starts.
Hello.
With her.
Flips the table over for like a cloth, like a little fancy French dinner.
Yeah.
And also, Jean-Claude, he loves his puns and his pigs.
Oh, he really does. He really does.
It's silly. The song's silly and it's fun, but also you got that great bit, the great building of it. Basically, these bits were like the ending after essentially that it kind of has that beat to it, Did he do it? Did he do it? I don't think he did it. Can we prove it? Then it just escalates into this bits like, can we prove it? They're going from side to side, making these funny poses in the interrogation room. Anyway, so they go through a bunch of the Muppets. Some of these were taken out for time, but then Fozzie Bear's like in the background, flipping on a little light.
God. Oh, that just totally reminded me of a McFarlane moment.
Oh, yeah, and they're just like talking. Basically, what are they saying, Tiki? So basically, they got nothing.
I think they're just deducing that they don't think the Muppets are guilty at this point because they're just saying like, well, gee, how could these idiots form a mastermind crime like this?
As Fozzie's turning the lamp on and off in the background. Meanwhile, we see Kermit, and here's a whole bunch of Shawshank references.
Oh yeah.
Kermit the Frog's
He's got a poster, and of course he's digging through it, Shawshank Tunnel.
And you got your movie.
Like, Frog, stop digging tunnel. That is the first thing that people do when they escape. And then
you got your movie kind of the cliche of your three tries. So Kermit, he's first behind the Miss Piggy poster. You got the hole. You got Shawshank Redemption tries to go out to the laundry. It's the second attempt everyone tries, and now he's just there waiting for him. Third try is, of course, through the sewer pipe, which, if you're going to do a bathroom joke, this is the way to do it. He's going through there, and I like it, didn't make it like, oh, he's climbing through raw sewage. No, it's just the fact where he ends up. That's the gag. I gotta say, just cheap.
That's also kind of a Shawshank reference right there, the going through the sewer.
Oh, of course, exactly. It's a whole bunch of Shawshank. And I love... Again, Tina Fey cracks me up so much, and maybe it's a poor choice of words in the scene, but she's sitting on the, out of context, it sounds completely wrong. She's sitting on the toilet, reading the paper, waiting for Kermit. Third attempt everyone tries, and basically says, look, Frog, I have Netflix full of Prison Escape.
I have watched every Prison Escape movie ever made. I know all the Prison Escape plans.
And then basically she has the paper again. It's a logical reason to have her reading in the bathroom.
Oh.
Because the paper's a plot point saying, okay, they moved on, they're with Dominic now, and then Kermit's faced the reality of the Muppets moved on without me. What am I gonna do?
Right.
And then again, I love Nadia. My heart goes out to this girl. I love her. Nadia suggests that, well, not suggests. She says, direct the prison show. Nadia, I don't know, I don't feel up to it. This is prison. No, Frog, this is prison. I'm telling you to do it. Says, do it, or I'll stick you on the wall. It says, the wall?
Oh, the wall. What? Oh, sweet Jesus.
I love in the interviews, by the way. The interviews are hilarious, and the press junkets with Tina Fey and Ty Burrell and Miss Piggy and Kermit and Constantine. Kermit. So funny. Okay, now, Nadia licks Kermit the Frog and sticks him on a wall in the freezing cold, which makes him stick on the wall. And they talk about it in the press junkets. Basically, it was a closed set. There was like a nude scene, pretty much.
Right.
Basically, she had to lick him and put him on the wall. They talk about it like it's like a sex scene in a movie.
Oh, God.
Hilarious. Just in a press junket, basically saying, I did get a little... It was a closed set, they were very professional, it was hilarious when they're talking about it to the press like that. Sorry, minor thing. And he says, what time is that rehearsal again? Rehearsal on the wall.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so, also a Muppet cameo of the old guy who takes the tickets and is in charge of the Happiness Hotel. Right. Again, another caper reference, a whole bunch of caper references.
Yeah, all over the place in this movie, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Mrs. You'll never escape, do the show! Meanwhile, Jean-Claude and Sam, they're starting to bond. It's adorable.
Oh yes, we have an epic bromance.
Basically saying, well, maybe your lemur idea wasn't so far-fetched. Wait, the Muppets are going to Dublin. Next step across the Muppets are going to Dublin. That's across from the Irish National Bank. And then they're buddy. He says, "Oh, let me get the door for you." No, let me get the door for you. Saying, "Let's go, mon ami." Yeah, that's nice. They're starting to become pals. It's almost as if we're. What did they say, Tiki? It's almost as if we're connected.
I don't know.
No, it's almost as if we're connected, or almost as if we're similar.
Oh.
Then they become buddies and they're off. It's the ultimate buddy cop movie. Let's see Rush Hour with these guys. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Making sure. It's like the ultimate. Yeah, it's the ultimate buddy cop movie. Like, I want to see Rush Hour with these guys in
it. Oh God, that'd be fantastic.
Anyway, so let's see. Then, meanwhile, take through it.
Understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. Nobody understands the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Also, yeah, we should mention it was hilarious. Was saying, okay, listen, Sean. Just because I'm working with you doesn't mean I have to like you. I didn't like you first. I didn't like you before I met you. And they've come so far since then. I should take us through the scene because I have a funny deleted gag to tell you about.
Yeah, sure.
So Kermit the Frog, Kermit's directing the prisoners in the show, and they want to sing. Ray Liotta and the prisoners, they want to sing "Boys to Men." Oh God! How did Ray Liotta get through this movie without dying laughing? So it's hilarious. But it gets even funnier. It's seen as the funniest deleted gag. Point is, they're all rambunctious, and it harkens back to the Muppets when they would get out of control, and Kermit had to handle them by snapping at him, whipping him into shape, which is a reference in the early part of this film.
Mm-hmm.
Basically says, hold it! Saying, okay, if you guys have any problems, you can talk to me in my office.
Right.
However, there was an additional beat to that before Nadia comes over and commends him, and they're on Kermit's side. There's a hilarious bit that was cut. It's so funny. Yeah. Ray Liotta is looking at Kermit, and Kermit snaps at him. Kermit the Frog snaps at Ray Liotta, which by proxy really gets the prisoner's respect.
Oh, God.
He yells at Liotta, saying, "Are you eyeballing me? Are you eyeballing me?" He says, "No, I'm not eyeballing you. Are you eyeballing me?" I was rolling on the floor laughing. And then basically Nadia comes over and says, "Oh, yeah," basically commends Kermit on the good job, and then the prisoner king, he shakes Kermit's hand and says, "Give me your hand, Frog." He says, "We'll do whatever you say." It's a nice scene. I love how Kermit just reaches all the people he meets with his niceness.
Yeah, that's always been a big part of this character, and it's definitely present here.
Even those hardened criminals, even like the triple threat, a singer, a dancer, a murderer, to quote Danny Trejo.
Oh, Danny Trejo.
Anyway, okay, so take us through.
Okay, well, is this where
we're in Dublin?
What?
Well, at the end of the scene, I guess it's nighttime and Nadia's starting to warm up to Kermit. She's I'll get you to the scene. Nadia basically says, good night, Kermit. Says, maybe your friends don't need you, but we like having you here. Essentially, he's being welcomed into the prison family, and she's saying good night to everyone again, like a camp counselor, like a motherly figure almost, saying good night, Danny Trejo. Then Kermit's still longing for his pals, and then we see Walter looking at his watch.
Yeah,
something's wrong.
So this is where Constantine gets revealed, right?
Well, no, this is where this is when Walter's trailing Dominic.
Oh yeah, okay, I'm sorry, God. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, he's trailing Dominic, yeah, and then he just got and then Dominic, he's in a big meeting with a bunch of turns out it's a bunch of critics, and it's a very secretive affair, and
it feels so classic noir getting there too, because Walter's in his little detective outfit, his trench coat and hat, as well as Dominic. Dominic's also sporting that.
I love the bit where Dominic's getting the silhouette, and then Walter's also getting the silhouette of him looking suspiciously.
Yeah, I think you mean caricature, don't you?
Oh yeah, caricature. I'm sorry.
Getting the characters. Yeah, and then basically he breaks a statue, poses as a little fisherman guy, and then he finds out that Dominic's paying off the critics. And also, again, a lot of dough being blown on this operation.
Really? Yeah, there is.
At least 3 or 4 suitcases full of money. He says, where does he keep all those suitcases? Basically, you're going to have to pay people to come to the show and give a standing ovation and also give us some good reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we're with Fozzie. Take us through what happens with Fozzie.
Taking through. So Fozzie, he essentially doesn't he find the makeup?
Well, no. Remember, he's looking at the paper, and via subway.
So basically, he's looking at the paper of Constantine. A warning. It's basically like a picture of him. Like a wanted poster, basically.
Yeah.
And so he starts putting his finger over Constantine's mole, and he's just like, "That looks like Kermit."
After he drips his subway on it.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh God.
Then he runs it by Walter. They get suspicious.
Carl's Jr.
Sorry, what?
I said that should have been Carl's Jr. That would have been such good product placement. If it doesn't get all over you, if it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong on your face. Waka waka.
Anyway, so the comedian bear and Walter. They happen upon Constantine's room. They say he's got a big old bomb collection, and he's got plans to steal from Ireland.
Part of me just thinks that this whole thing is just a way to fuel Constantine's bomb fetish.
Oh, it's setting up this big old plan later on with the bomb.
Yeah, I know, I'm just kidding.
Oh, he's got a big old bomb. Again, it fits into his origin that we don't really see. But it's awesome origin. Again, he's raised by a bomb maker. So, Muppet Origins, Constantine. Dun dun dun.
Oh no.
Then Constantine walks in there and he says, "You walk on your last walk up there." And he's about to do away with it. And then Animal swoops in, saves the day. They all make a hasty retreat. After Constantine dons his James Bond referencey Jaws, his metal Jaws, which serve a plot point later on.
Oh yeah.
Dons his James Bond Jaws. They escape. They say, "Okay, we got to find Kermit." Meanwhile, rehearsal in the Gulag is going swimmingly.
Oh yes.
See, I feel embarrassed for not knowing this. I can't. I want to say Death of a Salesman. Where's I hope I get this job from? I hope. I hope I get it.
I don't really myself.
It's either, for some strange reason, I can't think if it's Annie or if it's Death of a Salesman. I think it's Death of a Salesman. God, I hope I get it. I gotta say, Danny Trejo, he's a good singer.
Yeah, I just love that Danny Trejo. He just wound up in this Siberian prison. He's like, whatever. I'm here now. I'm Danny Trejo. I was an actor, but now I'm just in this prison. It's like he plays it very straight. It's It's not even like a celebrity case. It's just like, yeah, I'm Danny Trejo, and I just happen to be here.
Yeah, he was actually going to be in the first. He was going to be in The Muppets, but they cut him out. He was in prison in that movie too.
Go figure. Okay.
And his gag was like, "Hey, I'm a Muppet."
Oh God.
Anyway, so he says, "I really need this job. I hope I get this job. God, give me this job." And then Nadia, sorry. I think it's something else. Nadia, she interjects because she's so overcome with a love of musical theater. She starts to sing, I think everyone's harsh on her. Not the critics, I'm saying within the movie.
Yeah.
I really need this job. I really need this job. Yeah, basically, they say, now it's the prisoners saying, that's mean. Kermit's a little mean to her with that. Especially the ending. The ending really bugs me. Because I love her so much, because they say, I liked her singing. Anyway, so basically, you're right, Kermit. You're always right.
You're always right.
You're right, Kermit, as always. And Nadia, we see, like Helga Pataki, I never drew that parallel until.
Oh God.
She goes inside and she has a shrine dedicated to Kermit the Frog, and she's in love with him. She tears like
the Helga thing. That's the first thing that popped in my head.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's been a while. I kind of forgot it. Maybe that's why. I guess it took me a few minutes to get it, I guess.
Oh God.
Anyway, honestly, she tears the frog. She tears little Kermit the Frog off the heart and says, Kermit, you will never leave me, or I'll never leave you. She kisses the picture and she falls. And there was a deleted thing where a guy walked in on her, but then they cut that out. It's better this way.
Oh yeah.
She's head over heels for Kermit the Frog, and I think that's adorable. It's like Charles Grodin with the Great Muppet Caper with her.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I love it. That's why I think that's really why I love it. I don't know. She's adorable. She loves Kermit. How can you dislike someone who's head over heels for Kermit the Frog? I mean, Kermit does attract a lot of celebrities. Like Molly Shannon had it for Kermit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Chicks dig the frog. Julie Andrews had a thing with Kermit. All these celebrities had a thing. Anyway, meanwhile, there was the other hilarious. I mentioned the second most hilarious thing in the movie that was cut is in this next scene coming up.
Okay.
So Constantine is he's stress knitting, which I think is just a hilarious concept in itself. And I love how number 2, how Dominic knows this.
When he throws Fozzie, Animal, and Walter from the train, I think we did.
Yeah, we went through that.
No, we kind of were joking about the lockjaws, and then I think we kind of skipped over it.
Well, no, they did lockjaws, and then they escaped hastily because otherwise they'd be dead from the lockjaws.
Okay. And so, then they want to go back to the prison to rescue Kermit.
Yeah, okay. They're looking for Kermit. They're going to Gulag to find Kermit because he's in Constantine's place. Anyway, so I love how Dominic knows this about Constantine. He says, "Oh, you only knit when you're stressed."
Oh no, you're knitting. You only knit when you're stressed. What's wrong?
You know I love how he says the bear, the 2 Muppets and their dog, 2 Muppets and their dog got wise about they fled. He says, "Oh, how are we going to rationalize this?" And here's the deleted gag that I would have loved it if it was in there.
Okay.
Oh, I think it makes me laugh more than Ray Liotta. It's so, sorry, forgive me if I get through this. Constantine is knitting, and then why did they get rid of this? It's so funny.
Does he blow up whatever he's knitting?
No, it's even better. It's a little mundane moment. I love mundane moments. Dominic says, "What are you knitting, a scarf?" He says, "Yes." He says, "Who's the scarf for?" "No one." And then it basically says it doesn't matter. It says, buzz off, essentially. It says, "It doesn't matter." And Dominic smiles because he knows it's for him. I guess Constantine's like, "No one." It's so nice! How could they get rid of it? So cute!
Oh, God.
Constantine, as much as he berates Dominic, he's making him a scarf even though he's stress knitting. That's so adorable. How could they get
rid of dimension to the relationships in this movie?
Yes, that's what I'm saying! How can they get rid of that? It's so funny!
Oh, God.
He's making him a scarf. Anyway, take us through your thing before I will keep dwelling on this. Keep going.
Okay, so let's see. Let's see. At this point, we're
breaking the news to the Muppets.
What?
They're breaking the news to the Muppets.
Yeah, so they're just like, "Oh, well, unfortunately, Fozzie, Bat, Walter, and
Fonzie
all come down, all quit, right?" He says quit.
Yeah, Fonzie, Walter, and then they quit. Then Rolf the dog makes a very astute observation, as he did in the previous movie.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, Walter quit the Muppets? Didn't we do a whole movie about him joining the Muppets? Then Rizzo, again, a great Muppet cameo.
Oh, this is one of my favorite lines.
Take us through it.
He's just like, "Well, maybe he quit so that because they realized that we needed more screen time for more beloved and well-established Muppet characters."
Well, no, I think. Well, he said something similar. He said, "Well, yeah, that screen time could have been used. That time could have been well spent on giving other pre-established beloved characters."
Yeah.
Then he says, "Come along, Robin," and it's Robin, Kermit's nephew. I love Robin. You gotta love Robin.
Most well-known from Muppets Go to Walt Disney World, I'd say.
Yep. Anyway, so let's see. Essentially, it's like an on-with-the-show mentality of, just, "Miss Piggy, I could never lose you."
Yeah.
Anyway, so...
Alright, so this is where we get the Celine Dion song.
No, not yet. That's one that's later.
Okay.
The point is, it's a long way to the Gulag.
Yes.
Oh, we should mention, during that... before that, we should mention that, speaking of Celine Dion, when the running of the Bulls in Madrid, the point is you see how terrible the show was, and Miss Piggy sang like 5 Celine Dion songs that put people to sleep, and the Electric Mayhem band like a 2-hour drum solo, and Statler and Waldorf said, "Bravo! You actually like this? No, it's so bad. It's worse than ever before." Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. So they see what happens next. So it's a long way to the Gulag.
Yeah, so this is like one of the funniest visual gags in the whole movie. It's just the sight of Walter, Fozzie, and Animal, three very distinctly sized Muppets, just like they're going through ice, and they're going through the desert, and they're going through the ice again. It's just ridiculous. I love it. I love the little icicles on Animal.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in Dublin, by the way, there's a huge sign in the desert that says "Gulag this way."
Yeah, it's got all the subtle advertising of like a Six Flags billboard or something.
Meanwhile, in Dublin, we got a ballerina doing a show with jackhammers, providing the diversion for the robbery.
I love it.
Meanwhile, Sam the Eagle and Jean-Claude are taking in the show, also patrolling the neighboring valuables. See when the lemur's gonna make his move.
Yeah.
Then Constantine and Dominic, they steal. So creepy and eerie too. I mean, we haven't really gotten this stuff since I want to say Treasure Island of a Muppet's corpse.
Yeah, right.
Colonel Blood's corpse. They get the locket out of there, and then basically they hastily throw the coin. Sam gets wind of it. Miss Piggy's singing probably the worst Celine Dion song. Well, I shouldn't say worst. People go nuts for it. I don't know why people go nuts for it. The Titanic song.
Yeah.
However, I love how Jean-Claude's head over heels for Miss Piggy. So Andy loves romance. So he's eating a sandwich and drinking wine within the theater with a little bib around his neck. So funny. Again, he loves his breaks. And he's taking dinner and a show watching Miss Piggy fall in love with her. Now, I should remind you, he's a married man also.
Yes, he is. Yes, he's married.
I'm not saying it's an affair. I'm just saying he's definitely. I think he's like infatuated with this one. Like he says, I'm in love with the person that she is.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, point is saying that the lemur's made his move. We got to move fast. Meanwhile, Constantine gets a little hastily than they would have expected. They got to make their diversion now, and their diversion is Constantine going on stage. And I got to tell you, even though it's under the false pretenses of a villainous plot, I got to say, it's an emotional and romantic moment. By the way, I should mention that in this scene they say Jean-Claude's on a 6-hour lunch when he's eating in the theater also, so it's a bit of that too.
Yeah.
6-hour lunch. Constantine goes on stage and he proposes to Miss Piggy in a really nice way. He says, "Miss Pig, will you be Mrs. Pig or preferably Mrs. the Frog?" And I love how the audience wakes up from the crappy sleep number, basically like the women of the audience like nudging the men out of sleep. Hey, this is a big moment, wake up! Because this is like the ultimate will they, won't they? Like the ultimate soap opera of Muppets.
Right.
And it gets me all sappy, It's nice. It's a genuine proposal. I kind of wish Kurt would actually do this in real life almost. I mean, if you're gonna propose, that's the way you do it.
He is quite the romantic, that Constantine.
And an arsonist, but also And there was a deleted bit here that I think actually maybe they should have left it in. Miss Piggy starts to have her doubts instantly at that moment. He proposes to her. She's overcome with joy, but then right after that, after the audience swells at clapping, laughter, they're about to make their way off stage or answer press questions, I guess. He basically says, he's like calming her, saying, I'm in love with you, all that stuff, and you're never going to get married, all that stuff. And basically, Miss Piggy's kind of having her doubts about it, saying, no, this feels wrong for some reason. She's starting to catch on that that he's not acting like the Kermit she knows. He's not that spontaneous.
Yeah, exactly.
However, then there was a bit that definitely should have been cut, where it's Dominic and Constantine spelling out the plan, saying he's going to blow up Miss Piggy. A little clumsily done, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. Basically, it is rationale. It's a bit of plot, but they got basically establishing that the reason for the marriage, he proposed marriage because you can't visit or you can't do a show at the London Tower or the what was it, the London Tower, the London Castle.
It's the London Tower, I think.
You can't. It's actually a smart reason. It's a plot. It's a plot reason. So
Kind
it's
of reminds me of a series of unfortunate events.
what?
Series of unfortunate events.
No, I mean, why is it remind you of
Even
that?
just in the fact that the finale is a wedding, or hell, even Rugrats in Paris.
Well, the point is, the reason it's a wedding. Constantine basically spells it out, saying you can't very well perform at the London Tower. You can get married there though. That's the plan. That's why.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah.
actually, it's a good reason. It's just a little kind of meandering around. Anyway,
Yeah.
take us through what happens. Keep going.
Okay. Is this where we get back to the prison?
Yes.
Okay. So. Oh boy, so we're right in the middle of the talent show, and things are going great. Kermit's all into it, but alas, guess who shows up? But Walter Fozzie and Animals. So Kermit, he's thrilled to see him. They sneak outside.
Actually, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. I think we're missing it. We're missing the musical number.
Oh god.
What?
It did. Maybe I just intentionally skipped it. How about that?
I'll blaze through it real quick.
All right.
Before that, we see kind of the parallel of Kermit the. I guess we see kind of a lonely Kermit the Frog for a moment. I can't quite recall, but point is we see a. Oh yeah, I remember now. It's not, forget what I just said. The point is it's a Kermit the Frog. They're at London now. Basically, also it's a wedding that's being planned in 2 days. I should remind you.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a wedding in 2 days, which should raise some red flags right there for you. But Kermit the Frog tells the Muppets that he's quitting, he's retiring. I think that's an interesting idea for the movie.
Yeah,
Again.
yeah, you're right. And of course, I love the moment where Rolf just instantly just questions this. Rolf very full of wisdom in this movie.
Oh yeah, and then again, it's kind of relating to Kermit's the actual Kermit the Frog's his arc in this movie, kind of saying like, what after the Muppets? What am I going to do without these guys? And essentially, he's posing that question to the Muppets here through Constantine, saying, okay, you guys don't need me. And it's kind of facing the Muppets with, yeah, well, you've had a fake Kermit the Frog, but actually, what are you guys going to do without Kermit the Frog at all? Can you guys keep going? He's your glue. I mean, yeah. So like the idea of Kermit the Frog retiring from the Muppets, essentially, and then they start the song "How Can Something So Right Feel So Wrong." And I gotta admit, I'm not a Celine Dion fan by any stretch, but I like this song. I thought it was catchy.
I don't like the fact that it's just like, hey, there she is, and I'm sorry, I don't pay attention to what pop stars freaking look like, and I didn't even like. I don't know. It was the celebrity cameo that probably bothered me the most out of any celebrity cameo.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know what she looked like either. I assumed because of the voice, and the voice you hear, and it's kind of a payoff you assume.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, so the point is, yeah, you're right, it is who it is, but they kind of play with that by the fact that it's Celine Dion, and she's singing backup, pretty much. Like, she's not even singing the song. She's Miss Piggy, of course, would be the star of this in her head. So she's singing. It's done kind of a Celine Dion-ish musical number, I assume, where all the heads are floating, it's black and white all day, and Ralph's playing the piano.
Yeah, that's right.
What I really like is I like the Muppets singing the song. To be honest with you, basically the Electric Mayhem, Ralph the dog, all the one saying, "How can something so right feel so wrong?"
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, stuff like that, and also, as you mentioned, one of the Electric Mayhem members before the song had a really profound line. I don't know who it was. It's the one with the purple one with the orange mustache and hair.
Mm-hmm.
He basically says, the only thing we can do, go to the wedding, essentially go to the wedding, finish the tour, and then move on. Very profound line coming from that Muppet.
Yeah.
Anyway. So after the song, basically how can something so right feel so wrong? Miss Piggy has doubts about the weddings, what she's always wanted, but really it's not. Something just doesn't feel right to her. And oh yeah, the big thing in this, the huge question that was answered in this song, hugely important. The thing people have always been wondering: What would Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy's life be like after marriage, and what would the figs look like?
Oh my god.
Now the figs in the past have been like in Muppet Christmas Carol, just pigs and frogs. But here they did the weird thing where, again, it's a fantasy, so they can get away with this, so it doesn't really matter. It's
The image is still there. It
is creepy. I'm saying, like, it answers people's questions. It's creepy. It's Family Guy. I watched the lazy version of Family Guy nowadays, and they did a parody of this gag, and it's really creepy. It's like a deformed mix of the two species. That basically,
I can just imagine
the species is begging to be killed because it can't live well.
Oh, jeez.
It's a really dark joke. It's really bad, but this is done much better here, I should say. Anyway, getting back to your points, like the fig, like it's a purple. Sorry, not purple. Sorry, it's a pink frog and a green pig, which is kind of a nice idea.
Yeah.
It's kind of makes sense. I mean, kind of like almost like an Up type thing, where you see them as an old couple walking down the way. This is kind of nice. You never really thought of that with those two.
Sequence to that. Don't you dare.
Is it just because of the song, or is it just the visuals not doing it?
No, I'm just saying, it's like, that is... No, never mind.
I was saying like an old couple walking down the way, just seeing the life go. Anyway.
I'm just saying, we all know that sequence in Up is one of the...
Oh, of course. There's no topping it.
Yeah, so...
Anyway, so let's see. Then we're at the Gulag, and take us to the Gulag annual review.
Yeah, so like I said, after the three Muppets, Fozzie, Walter, and the animal make their appearance, they kind of sneak off. The three of them let Kermit know what's going on, that Constantine's taken over Kermit's identity, and that he's going to marry Miss Piggy. So, so they're outside of Gulag, and they're like, well, Kermit has to go right now. I was like, well, let's go right now, you guys. And then this BlueDragonFive, my favorite gag in the entire movie. This just cracked me the hell up. A bunch of machine gun fire comes raining down on Kermit. Oh my god. Oh,
nearly missing. Thankfully missing Kermit. Not by much, but missing Kermit.
Not by much. No, not by much at all.
And who's our guest star who fired that machine gun?
It is Stanley Tucci.
As Ivan the Guard.
And so Kermit, he's just very casually like, oh, sorry, Ivan, I forgot I was still inside. And then Stanley Tucci, he's just like so jovial. He's just like,
you gotta love Stanley Tucci.
Kermit.
Sorry for shooting. It's the thing. It's the job. Nothing personal though.
Happy to that. That was hilarious.
Again, I just love the mundanity of Kermit the Frog befriends everyone. Kermit the Frog befriends prison guards and prison inmates. I mean, everyone loves this guy. And, he's like, oh, sorry, Kermit, just the job. Sorry, nothing personal. Oh, I mean, thankfully I missed you. Hey, come on. Yeah, you gotta love Stanley Tucci. It's great stuff. Also, our little guest star here was Chloe Grace Moretz, Hit Girl from Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
She throws the paper. Quick little cameo. Informing them about.
I kind of think it's like, if you're gonna get someone like that there, I don't get these cameos where they're literally just doing a whole bunch of fucking nothing.
Oh, they could have put her in like an Alice in Wonderland movie if they went that way.
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying do something a little more memorable than just literally. I don't know. I still can't get over the James McAvoy thing. I really can't.
Anyway. So they basically informed them about the wedding, you're right. And then we get the better cameo. Here's one I think you liked. The Escapo. What happens with Escapo, Tiki?
Oh, God. Can you run us through it?
Yes. A prison inmate with a mustache is ripping off some...
Honestly, I didn't even recognize him. I had to look it up in the credits. So
it's hilarious.
I appreciate it. I mean, it's great. Yeah.
By the way, I want to mention real quick a little set detail. I like how they have like him set up similar to the Muppet Show in the prison, where he's like Kermit's behind on a desk, looking through the acts and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Escapo is doing his act where he breaks the restraints and he escapes. Yeah, but then he takes a little step too far and he tries running away. And we find out that this escapee is Escape-O, is in fact the wonderful and mischievous Tom Hiddleston.
I guess I just wasn't paying that much attention when I saw it, because, like I said, that just popped up in the credits, and I was like, really? That was Tom Hiddleston?
Well, I guess Odin really got fed up with Loki's stuff, so he took away his powers like Thor and sent him down to the Russian gulag.
It makes total sense why all these people are in the gulag. Danny Trejo, he's just hanging out, you know.
Loki just got his powers stripped away. Point is, Tom Hiddleston's there. He tries making a break for Tina Fey. Again, love Tina Fey. She electrocutes. Nice try, Escape-O. Oh, Tina Fey. Anyway, then we have the coal mine song. You're basically working in the coal mine.
So it's like, basically, it's just a song that's just all about digging, and this is how
they break out.
Rolf, or I'm sorry, not Rolf. This is how Kermit and Walter and Animal and Fozzie get out of the prison. Is as this musical number is going on, as this glorious digging thing. You got to think maybe they took a cue from the frickin' song from Pocahontas. Dig, dig, diggity, dig. So as this is all taking place, our Muppet heroes are tunneling out of the gulag, and when it's revealed that they are gone,
oh, I feel so bad for Nadia. She's head over heels for this frog, and he broke her heart. Kermit! There was not, and also I should mention the Gulag annual review sign also said "Don't riot" on it.
Yeah, so come on.
Kermit! And then he's just driving off, and they're happy escaping, and you feel bad for Nadia. Oh. Then there's a James Bond gag with Kermit the Frog. Casually, I love the mundanity of this gag. They're at the wedding. Kermit the Frog makes his way inside the place. Stealthily, not really. He just grabs one of the flower pots. He walks in there and pretty much, and then Fozzie and Walter commend him on saying, "Oh man, Kermit, you're like James Bond back there." Now, to be honest with you, I like this as is, but there's also a rationale for why it's James Bond in the lead scene.
Okay.
Again, I like just the mundanity of they think he's James Bond, even though he did something so menial, just walking right up to the thing. However, the reason they call him James Bond is because he ran into Dominic on the way there, and Dominic said, "Constantine, what are you doing? The thing's exposed. What are you doing here?" Basically, Kermit the Frog. And remember, it's two different performers doing Kermit and Constantine.
Yeah.
Steve Whitmire does an impression of Constantine the Frog. Saying, so it's Kermit impersonating Constantine, and then he says thank you, but he said thank you before in the prison, and that tipped everyone off. But he says thank you, and then he quickly catches himself as Dominic's about to turn around and says, "For nothing!" And he's yelling at him, and pretty much like Constantine would. And then he says, "Oh, Kermit, you were like James Bond back there." And that's it, pretty much.
Oh.
It's funny, but I kind of like the mundanity of it. Anyway, so they're in there, let's see, so, they happen inside the room, the fitting room, I guess.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite references to the Muppets is in this scene. First, Fozzie breaks the mirror in the glass. Constantine comes back in with Dominic, and Kermit does an homage to one of the best gags in the Muppet Show, one of the best puppeteering gags in the Muppet Show. Mm-hmm. Where there's a Tinker Toy. There's an episode in the Muppet Show where there's a Tinker Toy Kermit the Frog. You wind up the back, and he's like a robot. And he mimics Kermit the Frog in the mirror, basically the reflection action type stuff, you know?
Right.
And he does the same thing constantly. He finds a suit, puts it on, covers the mole up, and basically he's mimicking Constantine in the mirror, and it's adorable. It's hilarious. It's great. He's even yelling at Dominic in the reflection.
Yeah.
And then Fozzie gets a fridge dropped on him, and then they move on to the next scene. He pulls him up, he's like been all flat, and then the big plot point revealed in this scene is that he's going to blow up Miss Piggy, saying, "We'll have bacon for breakfast," and Kermit was horrified.
I love how it's like his explosion fetish really does tie into everything.
Yep.
Again, I am still convinced that that's the whole reason he did this whole plot, just because he wanted to get some explosions.
Oh yeah. And I gotta say, I don't think I mentioned this before, but I think my favorite Constantine just little quirk is how he says, "I don't care." He's like accommodating to the Muppets, saying, "Yeah, sure, who cares?"
Yeah.
Like if a woman says, "Oh, what, you want to pick the flowers?" I don't care.
I don't care.
Who
It's
cares?
up to you.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a nice little quirk with Constantine. Anyways, let's see. Basically, kaboom, pig, after he eats the jewels.
Oh.
Anyway, so let's see. So Jean-Claude, after they walk out of the dressing room, they get caught by Jean-Claude and Sam the Eagle. Sam the Eagle says, "That's the culprit." And basically, oh, I forgot to mention the funny line, basically saying, "This comedian bear, he is too stupid to be stupid, right?" Basically, he's too stupid to be the lemur. They framed Fozzie for the crime, I should mention, in Ireland.
Oh.
With the rubber chicken, and then that surprise says that they find Fozzie and Constantine, so they arrest them. I should say Sam arrests them because Jean-Claude goes on his 8-week vacation with his family, who appears just out of nowhere. Ta-ta, goodbye. Au revoir. Wait, what am I supposed to do with the prisoners? I'm sorry?
Oh, I just like his family's just like there. Like,
hilarious. And they seem like such a nice bunch, too. Jean-Claude should have his own... I'm not saying Jean-Claude should have his own show, because technically he does have his own show, but, you know, something. Anyway, so Jean-Claude and Sam Eagle, the ultimate buddy, like Starsky and Hutch for the new generation.
Oh my.
Anyway, so
I seriously, like, I hate cop shows. Like, I hate the
Brooklyn Nine-Nine's good
aspect of cop shows, but I would watch the hell out of these two just having like a procedural cop show. I would love that.
See, I was gonna say CS, but no. CS Muppet. Anyway, so the Sam Eagle cuffs him to the tiny car. There was a deleted bit where Kermit the Frog had swallowed a paperclip, or not a hairpin, to pick the locks during one of his many escape attempts, and he like horks it up like. And then the Fozzie Bear he's supposed to grab, and he says, "Ugh," he drops it. Says, well, you should have warned me. It's all slimy. Fozzie, I had that for 3 months, which gives you an inkling to how long Kermit the Frog's been in that prison.
Yeah.
So it was revealed. It was either 3 months or 3 weeks. Darn it, I can't remember. I feel bad. Anyway. So then they kind of realize it's a really shoddily made car. They can put their feet through it and walk off. Yeah.
Oh,
all of the Flintstones.
Frossy's just like, this is so frustrating!
And it's like the Flintstones, just moving with the car with the feet. We get a Grand Muppet cameo from the babies from the first episode of the Muppet Show.
Oh yeah.
To help out with the heist. Well, Constantine goes on with the wedding, and you're right, Tiki. Actually, it does appear... Really, it's just him pulling off his explosion fetish, really, because Dominic's doing all the work here. I'm just saying because Dominic's doing all the work here. Anyway, so let's see.
It's like all about that. It is the explosions. The money means nothing. Oh god. Okay.
Yeah, so while Dominic and the babies are pulling off the heist, really nicely done. Get my skin tight outfit so I can do all the wild work.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, Bobo the Bear and Uncle Deadly from the Muppets, they're playing the piano and like crying at the wedding.
Yeah, that was great. That was a great little callback.
Let's see, the lemur robs the jewels, and again, really a nice work done on the wires and stuff, doing a lot of these moves against the green little security lasers.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. Frank, the wonderful and talented Franklin Joa as the priest.
Oh my, yeah. Oh, that's just priceless.
That's a classy act. That's like kind of your Bob Hope is the ice cream man type thing.
Yeah,
that's a good case.
You got Richard Nixon himself.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking like the evil vice president from Dave, but sure, whatever works for you. Or Perry White.
The evil vice president, same difference.
Or Perry White from Superman Returns. But anyway.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have a doppelganger fight.
Oh yes.
Kermit versus Constantine. He's using like the Jaws to eat through the ropes.
Oh,
You know,
those
basically.
jaws are just like so hilarious.
Basically, it's like kind of a sweet moment for Miss Piggy when she hesitates in saying "I do." And it's like, "I do? Are you asking me?" No, she's not.
No, she's not.
They get into a battle. It's like, no, no wedding. He says yes, wedding, no wedding, yes, wedding. Then they get the hilarious moment where they both arise in front of Miss Piggy. It's her worst nightmare dream of two Kermits. Like it pushes in on her like a Sam Raimi shot almost.
Oh
Like,
god, right,
a
yeah.
classic Twilight Zone thing.
Oh god.
And then basically it's kind of your real. Also, Hobo Joe's caught in awe while he's at the ceremony.
Oh.
Oh, Hobo Joe.
Oh yeah, that's
The wonderful Zach Galifianakis.
right.
Meanwhile, so basically, Piggy.
I love how many callbacks they get to the first movie. That's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Or, I mean the 2011 movie, of course.
I'll tell you this: there was a really creepy scene. I'm glad was cut from the movie with Hobo Joe.
God.
Well, I shouldn't say creepy. It's just really off-putting.
Yeah.
I forget at what point there was a kiss of some kind.
Oh no.
But, no. I remember actually. No. It was Piggy was kissing Kermit after she realized she picked the right one. Then Hobo Joe. Yeah, this is really creepy. He kissed his fellow homeless brethren.
God.
And let's just say it wasn't on the cheek. Anyway, continuing on. So Piggy picks her right. Will you marry me? Of course. That's what I'm here for. I can give you what you want. Says, will you marry? Well, I mean, I could. You hear some classic banjo music. You hear some classic banjo. You hear some classic banjo music, which is nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, then he says, Constantine really gets menacing in this bit here.
Oh yeah, he does.
He pulls out the detonator and basically threatens to blow the whole place up, saying, yeah, you're right, Muppets. I'm Constantine, world's most dangerous frog. Basically says, I'm going to blow you up, saying, I forget if he says light the lights or not. He says something like that. He says, time to close the curtain.
Yeah.
And then he says, yay! Again, homage to Kermit the Frog. He's not even a frog. He's half a frog. Anyway, so as he detonates the bomb, Dr. Honeydew, luckily, has his bomb tracking vest.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Also, Exploding Cupcake was hilarious, by the way.
Yes, of course.
The bomb-attracting vest with a bow tie, which is awesome, attracts the bomb, which is in Miss Piggy's wedding ring. And they pull the pig from the ring. Big explosion happens. Beaker is flown right out of the 800-year-old window that Franklin Joe wishes did not happen. Blown into the water. He's perfectly okay, though, because he's indestructible.
Yeah, that was an awesome Beaker moment.
Oh, yeah. Beaker saves the day again.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, let's see. And
you just quickly wrapping up.
Keep us going. So basically, it's a helicopter battle.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where we get the Muppet ladder, but that hasn't worked in over 20 years.
Oh wait, we forgot Dominic.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Dominic's in the helicopter as Constantine's about to make his escape.
Mm-hmm.
Dominic in his signature lemur outfit, which by the way is the silhouette in the beginning of the movie.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So basically he's saying, this is the part where I double cross you. News number 2, you don't say double cross until you've done the double cross. Blows up the side of the door, which is hilarious. And by the way, the lemur is the worst.
Plot was gonna be him helping the Muppets at the end. And
really?
So I kind of thought it was a pleasant little surprise that, instead of helping the Muppets, he basically just becomes his own criminal, but he's just kind of pathetic at it.
Remember, he was the number 2 criminal already. He's the arch nemesis of Jean-Claude.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's the one pulling the strings. Apparently he was planning this double cross the whole time.
Right, yeah, I'm just saying it kind of subverted my expectations a little bit.
But I made you a sweater, number 2. And but I made you a scarf, number 2. The shit that wasn't in there, but it'd be hilarious. Point is, he's in the lemur is the worst villain name ever. So
It kind
unfortunately,
of is.
what?
I said it kind of is.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, so Constantine's making his grand escape. He's, Kermit the Frog hops on there, big old kind of die-hardish action scene.
Oh yeah.
You know, the Muppet ladder saves the day. Gonzo's nose hooks on like a grappling hook, holding it down. And you know, again with the passing of the performer that played Sweetums, it's kind of a nice little nod that Sweetums gets to hold the Muppets down. But kind of
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, in retrospect, it's kind of like a nice little nod to him. Indirect as it may be, it's a nice little nod to the guy. Right. He saved him in the end. Indeed. Holding down the Muppet ladder, and then the point is, she breaks the restraints, and she does it on her own, by the way. And basically says, yeah, world's most dangerous front, but you're still a frog, and kind of the abusive side of the relationship comes in handy, where she grabs Constantine, then whacks him like Bam Bam, like kind of Hulk smash type moment, like Loki smash type of moment.
I love how disfigured his face gets. It's kind of disturbing.
Well, no, it always happens with Kermit. Like he'll get the face smashed against something, it'll go like that for a moment.
Oh.
What a woman! My woman. Slaps the other mole on his face.
Yeah.
So now he's got 2 moles. Then, you know, it's a sweet romantic moment that the line Kermit has right after that. It's kind of a genuine moment between these two. You don't really get all that often between Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog. It's like, sorry I ruined your wedding. It's a nice little moment. He says, oh, you didn't I'm glad you did ruin my wedding. It's a sweet little moment from Kermit the Frog. Kind of putting his cards on the table in terms of the romantic comedy type stuff. Anyway, then the Muppet ladder, they get down there. And let's see, what happens next? Oh, yeah.
Nadia shows up, right?
Well, before that, Sam and Jean-Claude reunite for one last time.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so the lemur's being hauled away, and basically, oh, the lemur, you look so cute in your costume. You make that yourself? So I'm not cute. Yes, you are. You're adorable. Essentially, and basically they're hauling him off, and Constantine also, but then they get sidetracked at first saying, well, this is the last time we working together. They started to get emotional. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Says, wait, no, don't cry. I mean, it's not like this is the last time we're ever going to see each other. Forever. And then basically they embrace, they're hugging him, say, oh, I'm gonna miss you, my friend. I'll never forget you. Guys, can we wrap this up? Saying, oh, yes, here. Hey, it's a nice little moment. They become pals, and then
I love that arc, man. I love it. It's one of my favorite bits from any Muppet movie, to be honest with you.
It's so nice. And then, speaking of bonds between Muppet and person.
Oh no.
Nadia, a woman scorned. Man, Kermit really scorns these women, I guess. Molly Shannon really had out for him. Anyway, human women. Kermit always gets the human women. So Nadia shows up, and she's a woman scorned. She's mad at Kermit. And I love the logic here that she points out the true fact that you led a prison escape of 40 people.
Right, yeah.
40 murderers and criminals who apparently aren't that good because they instantly get caught.
Danny Trejo roaming the streets.
Forget Danny Trejo. I'm worried about Josh Groban. He's in solitary confinement.
Oh God.
Anyway, so the point is basically Nadia saying, I'm going to take you back to the gulag because you let 40 persons. I love Kermit's reaction to like, yeah, it's true. He is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Muppets really, again, it's a wrap up to Kermit's arc. Basically, the Muppets showing how, yeah, we do care about you, Kermit. We're sorry we didn't notice you were missing, except for
I honestly really wish that the movie would have just ended with all the Muppets in jail, Blues Brothers style. I honestly, oh God, in that moment when they were all, I'll
admit, I thought it was going there, Tiki. I really did. I'll admit, I thought it was going there, but you know, I kind of wish they ended it like the producers, you know, like if they were all in prison, but then they got out.
Right, or fucking Seinfeld, you know.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, what if they went there, but then Nadia was lenient on Kermit, so just like they're in there for like a month or a year or something.
Oh
You know,
god.
something like that. But regardless, I think it's still fine. Basically, the point is the Muppets they needed the scene because the Muppets need to show their cards in which they're saying that we care about Kermit. Basically, you take him to jail, we're going to take us to jail.
Oh.
It's them saying we weren't there for Kermit, now we're here for him because we care about this fraud. Basically saying, we can't do this without him. This is nice. Then they realize we didn't finish our world tour. Nadia is still bummed out, but she says, "You're free to go." Again, she's got some honor. That Nadia, you gotta love her.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. She's really one of the most well-rounded characters in the movie. It's a shock to me.
However, there's one line of hers I don't like in this movie. Believe it or not, just one line I never liked. It's not her fault. It's just the writing of the script. I don't like this line. She repeats a line, and I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way every time I hear it. Okay, basically the Muppets say, okay, we're gonna perform at the Gulag. Next stop on the Muppet World, last stop on the World Tour, Siberia, Russia, yay! And the Muppets are all clamoring, yeah. And the basis, she says, you will hate it. You will hate it. I don't like the second you will hate it.
I don't know. I liked it.
I don't know, a ridiculous. It sounds like on the nose, like, yeah, that's the gag. That's the gag.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
I don't know. Believe me, I praise this film enough. I think I can. Well, I only have 2 nitpicks in this entire film, really, to be honest with you.
All right. So the ending of the film is all the Muppets are on the wall, and they are basically singing "Together Again, Again."
Which, okay, maybe I shouldn't say 2 nitpicks because the other thing is that you got some shoddy CG work at the end here. There is some blue screen.
Yeah.
If there is ever green screen in the Muppets, sometimes it's going to be the backgrounds. I should mention that.
Yeah, sure.
And this was one of those cases. They're all stuck to the wall, and so are the guest stars, and it doesn't look that good.
Yeah.
Some of them, yeah. Some of the Muppets okay, but the guest actors look terrible.
I thought it worked.
The idea is great. It just looks not that good.
Yeah.
Basically, they have an actor, they do their bit, and then they stand next to the wall being photographed for the ending.
Right.
But anyway, I like the song though, and some people have complained that you really need to repeat this song for the ending. But I say it's kind of warranted because the whole point is the core of the movie was that Kermit was separated from the Muppets, and now they're together again. So it's kind of justified.
Yeah, Adventure Blue Dude had a big problem with that, but yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think it's well handled. I think it fits rather well.
Plus, it is kind of an easy solution to getting people on your side from the Muppets, and it's not one you can complain about. It's a nice song, but I think what I really like about it is that they spice it up by making it very grandiose with the Russian at the end. Basically, all the Russian gulag.
Oh yes.
All the gulag prisoners. The second, I guess not second bar, but I guess the chorus or something. The second verse, I guess. Basically,
yeah.
Together again, again. Basically, all the prisoners are like lifting their arms in unison. While we see Gervais getting the soup in the prison, we see constantly leading the prison dance. Yeah, it's nice. It's a good ending. It's very fun. They're all performing in the gulag, and and then the least favorite part of the movie happens. Again, if this is my least favorite part, we're still in good standing. The movie ends. It's wonderful. They could have just ended it there. Together again. And then the ending is Nadia going for your big solo.
I like that. I thought it was funny.
I think I don't know. It's because I love her. It feels.
I know. Yeah. I like endings like that. I like endings like that.
But I mean, she didn't sing that bad, and Kermit intentionally did that to her.
Maybe for Muppets 3, it'll start immediately with her song. You know what I mean?
No, it won't.
That's it. You don't know that. You don't know what they're thinking. Oh.
Well, they couldn't get Jason Segel back to stand in for just the opening.
I don't know. Yeah, well.
Anyway.
So
again, that's a minor complaint, though.
Some really nice end credits over fireworks that form shapes of Muppets. I really like that.
What do you think of the CG fireworks? Do you like those?
Yeah, it kind of made me wish for a Muppets fireworks show at Disney World or something.
Yeah, it looked. Yeah, I'll admit it looked nice.
Yeah, and then of course we have an end of credits teaser, and it is Fozzie Bear, and he's just like, "You can go home now, Ma." the movie's over.
Which is fun. Also, you got Beaker and Heimdall, they're messing with the credits as it's going down. Like, Sweetums is holding up the roses.
Oh, yeah, that was great. That was great.
Again, if the worst thing I can say in the movie is the ending gag doesn't really do it for me, it's still a pretty darn good movie.
Yeah.
Again, it's just, I don't know, it just feels mean-spirited on Kermit's part because Kermit the Frog is saying, essentially, he's making fun of her.
Kermit did kind of have an edge to him in the first season or two of the Muppet Show, so I think maybe it was kind of calling back to that a little bit, where, it's like Kermit, I don't know.
But this is literally the woman who basically made it that he didn't have to stay in prison.
Right.
I mean, then again, when you think about it, all those prisoners that did escape, they pretty much end up back in there, so apparently they're not that good at escaping. So I guess that's maybe another reason she didn't really hold against him. But also, the Josh Groban reveal, the problem with that is he was still kind of a new guy at that time.
Yeah, and they build it up so much, I don't know. Overall, I've got to say, I do like this better than the original Muppets. Or when I say original, goddamn, the Muppets it's getting so chronologically confusing now because you have one that's just called the Muppets.
The previous, you like this better than the previous movie.
I do, because I feel like it's more of a Muppets movie and, quite frankly, less of a Jason Segel vanity project. Just calling it how it is. This just feels more like the Muppets. There's just more Muppets in there. They are the main stars, and the human characters in this support the Muppets way more than Jason Segel and Amy Adams did in the original. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's kind of funny.
Love the soundtrack. Love the human actors. Definitely a couple little plot issues here and there. Like we already kind of discussed, Constantine's whole plot doesn't really make much sense unless you justify it as he's just wanting to get off on explosions the whole time, in which case it's hilarious.
Well, no, actually, to be fair, it actually is a well-thought-out plot. He's going around. It's a simple plot, though. It's simple, but it's actually makes sense.
Yeah, but the thing that doesn't make sense is, like, how, all the money that they're using for it, though. We already talked about
as long as the jewels are priceless, it just justifies it, I guess. And it's more for reputation, I guess. But you're right, I'm sorry, we did.
Yeah.
However, in terms of
course, the Sam Eagle stuff, excellent. So overall, what are your thoughts, BlueDragonFive? Just really quick.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Again, it's kind of weird. It's like the original Muppet movies for me in terms of I love the first two. It's hard for me to place which one I like more. But Caper is more of like it's an original story. The first one's about the formation or like the making of.
Right.
And I feel like that with these two. I can't really pick which one I like more because I love them in different ways. And this one I love it. Is kind of more. It's a silly, kind of out there caper story, and I love it. It's so funny and hilarious.
Like it feels very much like out there Muppets humor.
No, I guess the Muppets. I guess I feel a little more emotional towards. I think this one might be funnier though. I'm not sure.
I would definitely think this is funnier.
Okay, I'll make the statement. I guess I'll say that this one is funnier, but the first one has a lot more heart to it.
Okay, I can totally see where we're coming from.
I love them both, though. I want to make that clear. I love them both. Yeah. This one, a lot of great humor, but again, maybe it's a smidge more heart might strengthen a little more in my eyes. I guess that might have been the only thing that could have won me over. And again, if
you and me can both agree that celebrity cameos, even though there were some really good ones here and there, in general, they were a little bit weak.
Like, we don't have a Jack Black in this movie.
No, not at all. I think the closest we get is Danny Trejo, but...
Yeah. Danny Trejo, and I love Ray Liotta, too. I love Ray Liotta in the movie. But again, just if they got rid of... The thing that would have made this movie really good for me is if they got rid of that last bit, though. I don't know. It feels mean to me about that, because I love her so much.
I mean, it's mean-spirited, but I like mean-spirited humor. What can I say?
But it's mainly because it's from Kermit the Frog, is why. I know, you're right. In the early seasons, he was a little more of a prankster.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it was calling back to that, so I had no problem with it.
But she was nice to him, and she was falling in love with him, basically the man she loves betrayed her. I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe, I don't know.
Anyway, so the point is, it was a good film, a lot of hearty laughs, really fun, and you gotta love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not as good of a movie as something like comedy-wise and high concept-wise as something this year like the Lego Movie or 22 Jump Street.
Well, this was a year
that level, but it's still a very good time.
Well, I'll tell you, this was a year ago.
Oh my God! You're right.
This came out in 2013.
Did it come out in No, it didn't. Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
It came out. Did it come out like fall of two? Are you sure?
I could have sworn it was 13.
Hold on.
Well, you can double check for me. You might be right. Actually, it might be 14.
No, yeah, it came out March 11th, 2014.
Sorry, folks. He's right. He's absolutely right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, so it's like, but I just think that this year is just so, it's a big year for comics. So this movie might not be as memorable as something like the Lego Movie or, in my mind, 22 Jump Street. I know BlueDragonFive, you haven't seen that yet, but still, it's a great time. I think it's certainly up there with some of the better Muppet movies we've had, especially on the human side of the equation. I think the human characters really complement the movie very nicely while still making it an excellent movie that spotlights the Muppets first and foremost. A problem I had with the Jason Segel version, I thought that Jason Segel and Amy Adams just had too much screen time. But anyway, so that's all I have to say.
Point is, the Muppets are heading in a good direction, and hopefully it's like a new renaissance for the Muppets, you know?
Yeah, certainly. Alright, so anyways, that is the review, and we have been talking Mr. Banks. And we will see you next time, where we will review again. Talking Mr. Banks. Yay!
Yay! It's time for the Muppet Show!
Have a good night, everyone.